Hey, come here. Hey, come. I want to tell you something. We're so back. Hello, and welcome to TSTV, a show in which I, Sadie, guide my friend Lily through the wild world of Twin Peaks. Today we are talking about the very last episode of Season 2 of Twin Peaks, Episode 29, also known as Beyond Life and Death, also known as Season 2, Episode 22. I did that a bit out of order than I usually do, but this is a crazy episode. Lily, how's it going?
Dude, I'm fucked up. I'm convulsing. I'm in the fetal position. I'm twirling in circles and playing like a little strobe light on my television. Life is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sick to my stomach. I'm better than ever. How are you?
I am all of those things also. We're so back. I love this episode.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess before we talk about the episode, which we will be doing for presumably like 6 hours, we have had a personal life in the past 2 weeks. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Listen, lead the way.
Yeah. Okay. So, dear listener, as you may know, my wedding is coming up. For you, it's in the past. For me, it's in the future. How strange.
Wow.
It's in like a month, and things are really ramping up. And as part of that, freaking this bitch, Sadie, threw me a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I mean, you killed it, but I gotta reiterate, you killed it. It was like such a fun night.
I'm so glad.
We did so many things. We started at a record store, and then we kind of traipsed down one of my favorite streets in the city and hit an art gallery and like a weird D&D clothing store where we looked at a bunch of like necklaces.
Kind of like Renaissance fair themed clothing store. They had this really good gargoyle necklace. I think you should get that one.
Fuck off. Okay, everyone was pressuring me to get this enormous, heavy, like pewter gargoyle necklace for my wedding.
Yeah, I think it would. A watchful eye over a wedding helps from make sure nothing goes awry.
Ancient wisdom. And we went to one of my favorite restaurants. And then I swear to God, okay, if you get married, I'm gonna need to rent out an entire fucking city or like a theme park or some bullshit. This bitch rented out a movie theater. Like, straight up, and just like played a movie. We watched, you and me and Maya and I don't know, 10 of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Watched Tampopo, and it was so fun.
Yeah. I lucked out that my throat, 1 second.
My mouth.
My mouth. I really lucked out that your favorite theater in Montreal is like this really small theater that rents it out for comparatively cheap per hour. And yeah, for it's funny. At first I was like, okay, I could do one of Lily's favorite movies as like an indulge Lily and everyone watches the movie. And I was debating this with my committee of bachelorette party planners. And I was like, I think one that she hasn't seen is fun because then you'll associate that movie with this lovely party. And it is a little bit indulging myself because of how much I love Tampopo, but I knew you were going to love it. It's about love. Yeah.
It's about love.
Tell me about what you thought about Tampopo.
Yeah. Okay. So Tampopo, for those not in the know, is a really fun, quirky Japanese movie about a couple of guys, sort of a ragtag team, who decides to help this struggling widowed ramen shop owner to turn her little kind of mediocre ramen spot into the best place in town. They kind of run drills and they like renovate the place. And I say this, it's like kind of light on plot at the same time. That is the guiding thing, but there is also just like a lot of there are also like a lot of cutaways to just like people eating in fancy restaurants and people who have sex using food, and it's just like
Yeah.
super flirty and interested in like what food's like linked to like eroticism, and just like super audacious and sexy and fun. I was continually shocked, amazed, you know, at
Yeah.
like, of course, there is the famous scene of the couple passing a raw egg yolk between their mouths
Yeah, like 8 times. It's without breaking it. It's so good.
until it breaks. Oh my
Oh, it's
God.
so good.
So just a lot of great stuff like that. I also love how it was playing with archetypes, like how
Hmm.
the main character was a cowboy, basically. He's like a
Yeah.
trucker in Japan running a ramen restaurant, but he's also a cowboy.
And then also like wandering Ronin, like in the way that, you know, a lot of like Kurosawa movies like play off of Western archetypes, because he's also kind of like a like trainer. Like she's very like, please sensei, help me get good at ramen. And then he like does like Rocky montages to make her good at
That's
ramen, you
so
know?
true.
Yeah, it's like progressing this main plotline by just kind of like giving us a whirlwind tour of a whole bunch of different genres. Like we get her like spying on other ramen people in a way that feels like straight out of like
Like a
yeah.
spy movie, right? Like a really mischievous, like a Johnny English or something.
Yeah. There's like a bit where they are meeting the like homeless chef expert, where it dips into being like an 80s like ragtag kids comedy for a scene.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, and then it just keeps getting intercut to these skits of like, this would be a funny situation around food and love and sex and all of these together. And it like uses those skits as a way to kind of like, in the same way a montage of like show the progression of time as she's getting better at ramen. I don't know, it's so good. It's
Oh my
really
God,
like the
yeah.
type of like joyous maximalism that I love, of just like, we're just gonna keep having fun, we're just throwing everything in here.
Because if every individual piece is good, it's not like a flaw that there's too much stuff that's good and fun.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I would kind of love to see a modern director's take on this approach, you know, just running through
Hmm.
like 10 genres and everyone is a different kind of trope, and I don't know, like pastiche, but like in a really joyful and experimental way.
Yeah. It's funny because that's kind of Twin Peaks sometimes.
Huh. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so great. I'm so glad we did it. I'm so excited for you.
It's so cool. I'm really psyched to be married. The wedding itself is going to be fun. You know, like we've been kind of terrified that the venue is going to fall through, but everything seems like it's okay now. We tasted the food
Yay.
and it's so delicious.
Yes. Oh,
And they feel bad for mishandling stuff, so they're straight up like giving us like thousands of dollars off.
fuck yes.
Yeah, no, my life is kind of beautiful is the thing, Sadie.
It's all coming together.
I'm so psyched that you're gonna be up there with me. You know, like that means so much to
I
me.
know. Oh, it makes me emotional.
Me too.
Aw.
And we're like 10 minutes in, so we can't be all misty. Um,
Ugh,
but I love you, bud. This has
I
been
love you,
such
Lily.
a privilege, and you know, just working on this show has been a great way to spend time with
Yeah.
such a good friend.
Oh, it's so nice to yap every week. It really is.
I know, eh? I'm not going to say that everyone should start a podcast with their bestie, but
Everyone should find a reason to hang out with their, like, work on a thing. You know what I mean? Make a thing together with
yeah,
your besties. It's
it
great.
doesn't matter at all if, like, don't even care if it's going to succeed or whatever. It's just like a joyous process. Before this,
Yeah.
we worked on that music video, and before this we've done like our script stuff, and it's just like it's
Yeah.
a great way to connect with a pal.
It really is. Wow.
Wow.
Beauty of art.
Yay! Beauty of the world.
Yay.
Other than that, I also had a screening at a festival this weekend, which was so fun.
Oh my God. Yeah. Which I wish I could have seen, but I was in Ottawa for my grandma's birthday. So shout out. Hey, we've shouted her out before. Shout out once again to my grandma Claire.
Shout out Claire. Yeah.
But yeah,
How was that, by the way? How was that?
Oh, it was great. We walked around a garden.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, how was the screening?
Dude, it was so good. It sold out. It was like 150 people in there.
Fuck yeah.
They had to bring in new chairs because I think they
Oh
didn't
my
anticipate it selling out, so
God.
they just sold as many tickets as they could.
Oomphy is too famous. Fuck
Ooh!
yes.
The Q&A was really nice. Just like a really lovely festival. Exposures Montreal. Highly recommend. By the time this is coming out, you can probably buy tickets for the 2026 edition.
I know. I haven't gone to it yet at all. It just keeps being on a weekend when I have other stuff, but I like really
Yeah.
I think next year I really need to go.
Well, I think it's really growing. You know, like this year it was like a 5-day festival, and they had several screenings every day. Great crowd, just really engaged. A lot of trans filmmakers in attendance. So I met a lot of really lovely, talented, sort of driven in the same ways that we are to make cool stuff people. And I saw some fucking awesome movies.
Ooh.
In particular, the one that screened right before mine is called A Meal is Missing. And it's about a presumably trans woman who goes missing, and then it is uncovered that the past several years of her life have been live streamed, possibly without her consent or knowledge.
Whoa.
To like a horny male chat room, basically.
Oh, wow. Transgender Truman Show horror.
Yeah, it was like a little bit of a horror movie, and it was just fantastic. And
wow, that sounds amazing.
Dude, it was fucking, I was so thrilled to have Notes on Vanishing screen alongside it. Like it was like the perfect,
that's so exciting.
like 1-2 punch, you know? Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, Lily. Look at you, freaking blowing up, glowing up. Hell yeah.
It's been a lot of love going around this week. I feel very valued and appreciated, and it's been very nice.
Wow. Speaking of transgender and podcast, I see you have another item.
Oh, yeah. I discovered, and I think you also did, this lovely new podcast about role-playing games that is hosted by 2 other transgender best friends.
Wow.
It's called Leaving the Party. The first episode, well, right now there are only 2 episodes. I've heard the first one. It is similarly a like multi-hour deep dive into this one very thematically interesting game called Lovely Lady RPG. These 2 just have great things to say. They just like, it's a very chill, nice presence on mic, and it was my companion for a few very frustrating hours of Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yeah, I actually did listen to their second episode the other day, and it's also really good. They're talking about Felvedek, this like medieval Hungarian Czech knight goes on misadventures. Yeah, they also had really smart things to say about that.
I'm officially declaring Leaving the Party podcast as friends of the show.
Yeah,
which means you have to go listen to them.
Yeah, this is podcast solidarity.
Anyway, I mean, look, we've got a lot to dig into. I feel like I've said my piece. Do we want to dig in?
Let's talk about Twin Peaks.
Let's talk about Twin Peaks.
All right. Let me pull up the log lady. She tells us, and now an ending.
And now an ending. Where there was once one, there are now 2. Or were there always 2?
Oh.
What is a reflection? A chance to see 2? When there are chances for reflections, there can always be 2 or more.
Or more?
Only when we are everywhere will there be just one. It has been a pleasure speaking to you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, it just keeps going.
It's so good.
Oh, fuck. Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't that so good?
Dude. Okay, so if you've not seen this, it just keeps zooming further and further into her face after she stops speaking, she looks around like super uncertain, a little paranoid. It just ends up fully just her eyes in the frame, and then pow, flash of white. That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and like a kind of like door slamming sound at the end. It's so good.
Damn.
Yeah, my first note that I wrote when I watched it was just, holy guacamole.
Okay, so I appreciate this pointing out the whole like a reflection is a chance to see too, because I honestly, there are many reflections in this episode.
Uh-huh.
I mostly was not considering them in those terms. Like, obviously, we have Dale in the mirror at the end.
Yeah.
But there is also the reflective pool at the Glastonbury Grove. There is also coffee.
Yeah.
There's there's Laura's reflection in the coffee
credits.
at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is Laura necessarily. Dude, okay, this is giving me a lot. What do you make of this?
So, okay, definitely there are now two. Where there was one, there are now two. Definitely Dale doppelganger moments. But or were there always two is really interesting. Like,
yeah,
if this is like at the end of this episode, like Evil Dale emerges into the world. Like, was Evil Dale always a part of the Dale that we knew? And like, I mean, we've certainly had, I think you could tell that I've been watching the show with that in mind, because like from basically the first episode, I was like trying, teasing that out. Oh, it's so, it's Lily, it's so delicious how it's all coming together now. I also really love when it zooms in on her eyes, and there's like a little reflection in the glasses, and it's like square. It could just be a light, presumably, but it looks kind of like it's like a screen. There's something about her, like, it's been a pleasure talking to you. She's talking directly to us, and we like are seeing the thing, like maybe that she was looking at that was just like a TV screen. Feels very fun.
Oh, dude, that is really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
This is so interesting. I mean, it feels more like part of the text with that ending. Like it's oh, this is not like her in a world apart somehow, just kind of like commenting with a distance. Like, this is the log lady still being subject to this universe's strange rules. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it more as like paratext before, as like, like the episode description on the back of a DVD or whatever. Dude, I'm so glad they made these things. This is so interesting.
My other note is honestly when she says, "Only when we are everywhere will there be just one." That's transcendental meditation mentioned.
Oh, dude, I was thinking of it as like a colonialism thing. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, hey, listen, I like that read also.
When we are everywhere, that kind of expansionist thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but also I'm a little conflicted on the start of this. She says, where there was once one, there are now two. My read was actually a little more ambiguous than that. I was thinking, I mean, yes, there is the evil Dale in the Black Lodge, but her saying there are now two makes me think that the Dale that came out is not still Dale. Like, it's a different guy, as opposed to this is Dale's body with Bob inside. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Many more episodes of this television show.
I think as of right now, that is something that is a bit ambiguous. I think we get a lot of like, or the guy who explicitly turns to camera and says doppelganger, and we see a lot of like doubling in this episode, and certainly this is something that
For sure.
I've been calling out from the very beginning of our show, how much the show is interested with the idea of people being doubled, going way back to Maddie and Laura. But I agree that, and maybe we'll have a in-depth conversation when we get to the very final scene, but I agree that it is ambiguous about whether this is the good Dale stayed in the lodge and the bad Dale left, or Dale left, but with evil in him.
Yeah. I was comfortable thinking, okay, this is like the union of the two sides, the evil that men do and the supernatural evil. I think there's kind of a lot in the Black Lodge that made me think about Dale is evil, Dale is responsible for this. But anyway, we can get to all that.
Yeah. Well, Shall I get to the recap?
Please do, Queen.
All right. I have a lengthy recap.
Holy shit. Oh my God. That's so many words.
This is the kind of episode that I think you could either recap in like half the length of our usual recap or twice as much, because you can either just really say all the weird things that happen or just like, and then shit gets crazy. I opted for really getting into everything. So,
okay.
man, how do you even recap this episode? It might be one of the best episodes of television ever aired. Also, half its runtime is a nightmare sequence of Dale Cooper walking in and out of two identical rooms, witnessing a carousel of visions, ranging from unsettling to profoundly horrifying. And it's all held together by a profound return of sauce that the show has been missing and an insistence on bringing tragedy and horror back to Twin Peaks. So let's get the B-plots out of the way first. Nadine's head bonk did bring her memories back, but she's forgotten all about Mike the Snake in a scene that is shocking for how much it's played for straight-faced tragic pathos. Likewise, Donna's Is Ben My Dad plotline's only resolution is Doc Hayward punching out Ben Horne, which is convincingly played as upsetting. Audrey chains herself to the Twin Peaks bank to protest Ghostwood, which also happens to be where there's a safety deposit box that Andrew Packard realizes the key from the ingot opens up. Inside that safety deposit box, a bomb, which kills, everyone, And a replay of the pilot's intro scene to the diner is interrupted when Sarah Palmer returns to deliver a spirit message to Garland Briggs. I'm in the Black Lodge with Dale Cooper. I'm waiting for you. Speaking of, Dale follows Wyndham and Annie into the Black Lodge, which turns out to be the Red Room from his dream way back in episode 2. He sees the man from another place, the little man from his dream, dance to a soulful jazz song. He sees Laura Palmer, who tells him she'll see him again in 25 years. He sees the old waiter and/as the giant, who brings him coffee, which the man from another place seems to freeze solid and then transform into burnt oil. He sees Maddie, who says to watch out for her cousin. He sees a version of the man from another place with cataract white eyes, who says doppelganger threateningly. He sees a similarly cataracted doppelganger, Laura, who does the worst scream in the world. He runs away and realizes he's bleeding. He sees his dead body next to Annie's. He sees Annie, except she's Carolyn, except she's Annie, except she's evil Laura, except she's Wyndham Earl. Wyndham says he'll let Annie live in exchange for Dale's soul. Dale immediately agrees. Bob appears and kills Wyndham Earl. Dale runs away as an evil Dale doppelganger emerges. Dale sees a Leland Palmer doppelganger who says, I did not kill anybody. Dale runs and runs and runs from his doppelganger, but gets caught. Bob's face laughs horribly. A full day later, Harry sees Dale and Annie having reemerged from the Black Lodge, both passed out. The next morning, Dale wakes up, both in scare quotes, and says he needs to brush his teeth. In the bathroom, he slams his head into the mirror, revealing Bob in his reflection, and repeats, How's Annie? How's Annie? Heralding the return of evil to the world in the form of Dale Cooper. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Big recap, big episode. I felt like it was worth listing all the crazy things that he sees. I also have some little trivia before we get into really what we think of it. First of all, this originally aired as like a double episode alongside the previous episode, which would be crazy. There would be such a sudden vibe shift.
Strange.
Also, this says this episode takes place between Sunday, March 26th and Monday, March 27th, which is also crazy. It's truly just been a month since the beginning of season 1.
That's insane.
There was a scene that they shot that never used, which would have showed Josie's body in the curtains of the Red Rooms. I don't know how entirely that would have panned out. They didn't have Joan Chen, but they had a stunt double. Apparently, Frank Silva, who plays Bob, didn't realize it had been cut and talked about the scene in an interview at the first Twin Peaks Fan Fest, which everyone was like, hello? What?
Oh my God, cool.
And lastly, I'll just drop these in the episode description. There's some really beautiful black and white photos that Richard Bamer, who plays Ben Horne, had taken on the set, just like on the last day of shooting. And I really recommend everyone look through those. They are very gorgeous.
Oh my God, these are so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all that out of the way.
The Josie thing makes a lot of sense to me because there is that moment. We'll get to it. We'll get there. For now, Jesus Christ. It's like I could say every word in the dictionary about this episode.
Yeah.
What say we of the episode?
I mean, it's the GOAT. You know, I think I was saying to you I think it was at your bachelorette party. I had it's funny, I really am the same girl I was as a teenager, because I take a shot and then I just need to turn to my friend and be like, you don't understand. Twin Peaks gets so good.
That's exactly what happened.
No, I was like, it just hit me immediately. And I was like, Lily, you don't even know. From the last episode to this episode is the most... And listen, we've been having fun these last episodes, but it is the most coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb experience imaginable.
That is exactly what you said to me.
Yes, it's crazy. This episode's fucking amazing. It's so good. I love how insistent it is on bringing horror and tragedy back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously the whole Black Lodge sequence is like just one of the best nightmare sequences ever, you know? But even how we resolve all the B plots, it's like, it feels like such a, no, you have to take this shit seriously. Like, the idea, you know, even just like Nadine, like getting her memory back is like, that's really sad. It's not a joke. Stop treating this show like a fucking joke. It's, yeah.
It's heartbreaking, that scene.
I know.
I'm with you that I love the B plot stuff. I love the Lucy and Andy stuff. The Donna arc had like a shocking ending. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My main thing is this episode has been looming large over the past like year of my life. So many people have told me what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I did not get spoiled on it. Thank God.
Yeah.
But I have seen a lot of discussion online as well of like how it ends on a cliffhanger, and you know, how obviously we spend more time in the Black Lodge, and none of it captured the experience of this for me, which was like, I guess I was expecting a climactic episode in the sense of like the season 1 finale or Lonely Souls, where it's like there's really consequential plot happening the whole time. And that is true in a way, but it's not where the like remarkable emotional impact comes from.
Yeah.
The stuff in the Black Lodge is all so ambiguous, is the thing. Like,
yeah. Yes.
I actually feel like I'm leaving with more questions, you know? It's...
Yeah.
Dude, thank God The Return is out, because I cannot imagine living the next quarter century of my life without knowing what's going to happen. Like, it's not just a cliffhanger in the sense of like, oh no, what's going to happen next time? It's that this sets up several more seasons of plot.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, it's also like a perfect ending. You know, I think if this is how it all ended, it's horrible, it's heartbreaking, it's like all these cliffhangers, but it's also like, I'm thinking back to when we were in our first couple episodes, and I kept saying there's this undercurrent of criticism of the town, of Dale, of these seemingly idyllic conditions that led to Laura's death, and that stuff will start to become clear eventually. This is where that becomes clear, right? The happy-go-lucky like vibe of the first handful of episodes of Twin Peaks ending like this, like, forces us to confront that is an illusion, right? And forces us to be like, they're if we spend too long just in that like goofy space, we will the pendulum will swing back and we'll get like the darkest episode of the show, you know, and
of the whole world.
And I think that the ambiguity is so much of it. Like everything I was saying about how the spirituality in Black Lodge and everything has appeared in the past couple episodes has been way too utilitarian, way too on the nose, and like the ambiguity is back. And honestly, the big thing for me is like tension is back. And I think so much of that is just the scene to scene pacing. Like I'll shout out a couple of them as we get to them, but like there are so many scenes where it's not shot in the way that I expect it to. And like it hovers on certain things in shorter or longer ways than I would expect it to. And it means that I have no idea what's happening next. In a way that like I had the past handful of episodes, we've been lulled into like normal TV pacing where every scene has the exact same length and like hits the beats of this type of TV like dialogue scene. And it's not surprised me in the ways of this that this has.
I completely agree. There is There are two moments I'm going to call to as we get to them.
Mhm.
Okay, so another thing that I know about this episode is
Mhm.
that the original script was pretty different, and then David Lynch came in and made some changes that are like credited for why this episode is so good. Can
Yeah.
you tell me about that? I have not read any of your notes.
So, I'm going to introduce a micro segment for this episode, and I was
This
telling you
episode
before we
only.
started recording. Yeah, I was telling you before we started recording. I was like, I know we're back at Really Good Twin Peaks because I was happily giving myself homework. So this little segment is Sadie's script check, and this is just as we go through the episode. When we get to a scene where the shooting script is really different, I will just tell us what's happening in the shooting script, because let me tell you, it's dog shit.
Really?
Oh, the shooting script version of this episode is like so much worse. So there are like big picture two big differences. There are a lot of around like almost all the around the town B plot scenes. Actually, or I think mainly
Uh-huh.
the one at the diner is like not at all in the original script. And the big thing is that
Mhm.
the original script, all of the Black Lodge sequences are like completely different. It's not in the red room. It's not like this weird dream sequence. It is basically like a chasing Wyndham Earl through and like getting, and in the shooting script, Wyndham Earl talks
girl.
so much more. The same way he's just been like babbling in all these previous episodes. He walks in and he's just like, "Young Dale, my good boy, let me tell you a thing or two about the nature of good and evil." And like that is all over the shooting script.
Oh, that's not what I want from this episode.
No, not at all. I'm really going to enjoy the Sadie script check as we go through this episode. Which, speaking of, shall we jump right in?
Yeah, dude, let's jump in.
All right.
Shall I take it away?
Yes, please.
Okay. This episode opens on a really striking shot of Lucy and Andy kind of facing the camera, but cheek to cheek, and in silence for the first little while. The credits are still running above and below them. I really like how it frames their faces. And before anything else, I will note that I see Grace Zabriskie's name in these credits, which immediately gets me
Yes.
hype. We're so back. Sarah Palmer, that's my girl. I feel like I've been saying for the full like past season, where is she?
Yeah, no kidding.
But anyway, this is Andy and Lucy. They're kind of reeling from the events of the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy is retelling her experience of it as a contestant in Miss Twin Peaks. She says, "I kept thinking the lights are going out, and then they did." Which is crazy, because what do you mean you kept thinking it and then it happened? Like, I feel like that goes by fast, but did she have some sort of premonition of it? I think
that's really good.
I think of how, like, in Lonely Souls, people just had a sense that something was about to happen, but they didn't know what.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
And she talks about how scared she was, and how, what if the lights went out in the elevator in the hospital when I was giving birth, and then I had to, I was all alone in there with you and we couldn't do anything. And Andy just like, he's not the stepdad, he's the dad who stepped up. He gives this like really, really moving little moment saying, "I'd help you have that baby right there in the elevator in front of God and everybody."
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. This is like a timeless love, and exactly the kind of thing that Lucy has been looking for. She kind of wants a guy who will be there for her and help her through this crazy life. And they say they love each other, and it's just, it's touching.
I love, like, they both say "I love you" at the same time, and then like she realizes that they both said it at the same time, and he's like, "Huh!" It's so good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
This is like one of the few moments with comedy in it, or like light-heartedness in it, but it is still so connected to the pathos of these two. It's so good.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's funny because they're inherently funny as people,
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, any notes on this little micro scene, or should I keep it going?
Keep us going.
Okay, yeah, then the camera cuts to a similar close-up, but it's
Actually,
of
wait,
Dale.
I'm a liar. I think I do have a note. I think, yeah, keep that in because of that. That's funny. But I think that there's something about like opening this episode on their love is really interesting.
Huh.
I think that as much as this is a really, really dark episode, I think there's something, and like everything from last episode of like love and fear, open the doors, there's something about highlighting like these two are in love. They're in love in this way that has this kind of maybe premonition, and this maybe like they say it at the same time. There's something, there's, I don't know, that could be quasi supernatural, but like, I think it's interesting to open with these two that do represent this vision of the town of Twin Peaks, these simple lovers who...
Yeah, and there's something very old school about their romance.
Yeah, and like just representative of this kind of pure love before we cut into essentially what the entire rest of the episode is going to be. I think that's really interesting. But speaking of...
Yeah, and this cut to Dale immediately brings us into a like drastically different headspace.
Yeah.
In part thanks to Dale's, excellent, Kyle MacLachlan's excellent face acting, but it's also the music. The synths here are so loud and overwhelming and foreboding. It feels like a new track to me. I could be wrong. I'll play a little bit of it here. And they're just thinking about like, man, everything's so messed up, big problems. And then what's his name? Pete Martell barges in and he goes, Saints Row 3. No, sorry, it's Grand Theft Auto. He's saying the log lady stole my freaking car, dude. She just ran off with it. I had straight up there were fish in that car.
No, yeah. I'm just barges in Halo Reach.
It's really good. It's really good. I'm just trying to think of other games it could be.
I know, right? Yeah.
Team Fortress 2.
I was literally going to say Team Fortress 2. We're fucking spiritually connected.
Spiritual sister. Okay. Anyway, a lot of this scene is really exquisitely shot. It's like it's from above, the super wide angle that makes it look like the set of a play, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
And okay, basically Dale had been stumped. There was actually previous conversation between Dale and Harry about how like, we've got agents in 3 counties looking for Wyndham and Annie and they've just vanished. And when Pete says, the log lady stole my car, that's what makes it click for Dale. Oh my God, that's not the log lady. That's Wyndham Earl. Although he does not say that for a little while. Instead, he says, no, it was not the log lady. The log lady will be here in 1 minute. Which I love because he has like a reasonable reason to know this, which is that he has asked her to come in. But from my perspective in this moment, it was almost as if he had just been handed a clue and this was his like solving the puzzle. Because of what you just said, I know that she will walk in precisely 1 minute. My note was, how does he know? But he knows because he just like called her and was like, hey, can you come in, please? Anyway, she walks in and she has a bottle of oil that her husband gave her. This is why she's been asked to come in. That she was told by her husband shortly before his death was the key to a gateway. Is that it?
Yeah.
Harry and Dale give it a smell and they go like, it's scorched engine oil. So, this is like one of Bob's signatures throughout the show. And like in Loneliest Souls, that's what the room smells like. I think in the hospital when Leland strangles that Renault brother, which, oh my God, I forgot about the Renault brothers. Anyway, they smell it. And then in, I think, Dale's worst moment of this episode, they call in Ronette Pulaski, another victimized woman who we have just forgotten about, to do essentially nothing except make her smell the jar. Yeah. Which is fucking terrifying for her. She like recoils in terror. And she says, I know it from the night of Laura Palmer's murder. Which gives us no new information. At least as viewers. But like, this did not need to happen. They're just triggering her again
Yeah.
for their little investigation. And it's not even useful.
It's interesting. It does remind me of the like post Lonely Souls, how he was like, you got the sense that he's assembling clues in a logical way, but there is no logical connection. Like, oh my God, and now we know that this oil is what the smell is. So therefore we have to go to Glastonbury Grove. And it's like, what? It's like, and he only, okay. To me, the big thing to this scene is at the beginning as he's like puzzling it over. He says like, he looks at the fire. He's like, fire, walk with me. Fire, walk with me. And he says it like an invocation. It feels like he like becomes like a dark sorcerer. And it, to me, not even thinking about him having called her, that explains him knowing the Log Lady's about to come here in 1 minute, because he just like has tapped into this like supernatural current, but in a fucked up way, in like not a good way, you know? And I think that's why he is able to be like, yeah, let's re-traumatize Ronette Pulaski real quick. And even like the way she like backs away from it, like Hawk like grabs her, but it's like another one of those grabs that we've seen men do throughout this show a lot. That's like, are you comforting her or like violently forcing her to stay?
That's it. That's totally it.
He's like threatening to her. And I love like the reason why he's like, oh, Glastonbury Grove. It's because Pete says like, I had 12 rainbow trout in the back. And he's like, 12. There were 12 trees at that grove. And then he connects to like Glastonbury. That's the burial place of King Arthur.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about the King Arthur thing, because I know essentially nothing about that myth, except like all I remember is from when I was like 7 or whatever. Do you know what the significance of this could be? What the symbolism they're reaching for is?
I mean, largely same. I know that it's the thing of like he gets killed in the battle, and then he's like whisked away by the ladies of the mist or something. The idea being he's like taken away to this other realm. And I think part of the King Arthur myth is the idea that like he will return when England is at its time of most need or whatever. Which I think you can read that here as like King Arthur, Dale is like killed because of his own, like he has his own fatal flaw and is whisked away to a realm from which he made Twin Peaks: The Return in the future. But who could say?
Pete has a great moment here where he goes, King Arthur's burial ground. King Arthur's buried in England.
Yeah, it's really good.
Pause. He's like, as far as I know.
I do just love, again, like, it feels like we are really capital D directed again. Like, what you're saying about it being shot from this, like, really, like, up from above, distant way is like, oh, we're not just doing, like, kind of, it's such a break from the, you know, traditional, like, over-the-shoulder shot, reverse shot stuff that we've been getting. Not necessarily exactly shot, reverse shot. We're not really there, but, like
soapy sort of aesthetics, right?
Yeah. We're like doing other things now again. And even like the way Pete opens the door and swaggers in, just going Grand Theft Auto is such a, like, oh, you know, he opens the door and he comes in and he goes, Minecraft server. Creative mode. But, you know, like it's the sauce is back. Like people are being weird again and like weird outside of like, I think part of it is like, there's the vision of weird that we have had a lot before. That's kind of like, I'm quirky. And now it's truly surprising and has its hooks in me, even just in him swagger again like that, you know?
I agree. There is a little bit of just funny TV nonsense in this scene, which is when they're talking about Ghostwood. Mm-hmm. Dale kind of repeats Ghostwood, 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 as if no one in the town has ever thought about this before. They're like just discovering that there might be a ghost in the wood or something. Yeah. It's like very funny to actually pay that off instead of letting it be the obvious thing that it is.
Yeah, it's really, I agree.
Anyway, this is an awesome scene. I loved it.
Yeah. Shall I take us to the next one?
Please.
Okay, so next up, we see Wyndham Earl going to that very grove with Annie. And he's kind of just like, we see her pull up in the truck, we see him taking her up, and he's like saying some threatening things, and she is praying. The Twin Peaks wiki tells me that she's reciting Psalm 141 in the King James version, or Psalm 140 LXX, which is
good to know.
Thank you, Twin Peaks wiki. And here again, my big note is like immediately we're so much more threatening. Like just the fact that he's not like prattling on and like again he's like, look, 12 rainbow trout, in a way that seems to reinforce that to him the fact that there's 12 of them, or the fact that they're rainbow trout, is also like somehow
a symbol.
Yeah. And I love, as he's like leading her to the grove, he's like using the flashlight as a stage light. Like he's walking backwards, shining the flashlight at her to blind her, and then shining it at himself for dramatic effect. Again, he's like clued into the like show, you know, metafictional show, like theatrics of the supernatural. He's like, the flashlight is meant to shine light on people's faces dramatically.
And at first I thought it was like depending on who's speaking, but he also like shines it back and forth depending on who has like a striking expression in that moment. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And like, he's so much more cryptic. He says like, I tell you, they have not died. Their hands clasp yours and mine, is like just a line that's like, what does that mean? And is so much more interesting than him going on and on and on about how much he loves evil. And like, and then as soon as they cross the circle of trees, it's like she's entranced. He's like, you can't run from me now. And she like seems to literally be unable to.
Yeah, like before that moment, her panic was sort of gradually ramping up.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, she says a prayer at first, and then she's like, where are you taking me? She only sort of thinks to ask a minute before she steps into the circle. I love how organically it mounts. And I feel like that is from a place of like faith, both in, you know, religion and also in Dale. At first she's like really certain that Dale's gonna come, you know, bail her out. And Wyndham's just like, no, he's not. Which is basically true.
I see you have a note that's like, let's analyze his line. He says, I tell you, they have not died. Their hands clasp yours and mine. I honestly don't really know what that means. Do you have a read on that?
Yeah, I think just judging by like Laura's presence in this episode and Maddie's and Caroline's, like I feel like this could just be a way of saying sort of what Annie was saying in her speech last episode, which is like that the people who are dead are still here to witness, and they still are attached to and love the world, and maybe they still like interfere in ways, or like their hands clasp yours and mine. It can also be like there is a way for us to connect with them still, you know?
Which also could be like they could be the freaking evil spirits, right?
Sure.
It could be like you didn't defeat Bob. His hands clasp yours and mine, you know? This is also the first appearance of Sadie's shooting script check, because
oh great,
like I mentioned, the big thing is Wyndham Earle won't shut the fuck up.
No.
And I'm realizing how much, like, honestly, I think so much of what's been stopping him from being a believably threatening villain is that every scene, he's just going on and on and on. And, like, okay, I'm just gonna... He wakes Annie up. Hello, sleepyhead. Boo! And he's like, who? He's like, oh, think of me as a cancer or a heinous virus, something you can die from horribly. I'm about to cow you for your own mortification. She pulls out her rosary and he says, oh man, what a cheater. Sister Mary Holywater crams for finals.
What the fuck?
Hey, you want to know something? Cooper's birthday is April 19th, 1956. That means his moon is in Aries. Get it? You don't get it, do you pathetic little professional shut-in? On the other hand, I've just spent 2 weeks in a cabin with a smelly head of cabbage. Has anyone ever told you you look a lot better than Leo Johnson? Smell better, too.
My God.
All that, and then she says,
God.
if you're going to kill me, why don't you get it over with? Which, in the episode, is like... I think he says like a line or two, and then she says that. And then he says, oh, we have much bigger plans than that, my pretty. I tell you, doll, if I was 10 years younger and could find the heater in this trunk, oh boy, having some fun now. Won't you join me for a gamble in the Grove?
Oh my God. This is terrible.
It's so much worse. It's so much worse. And like genuinely, this feels like this scene with him is the first time that he's felt scary. Because he's like being threatening, and he's not just like showing up and doing a fucking like tap dance routine to tell us about how evil he is, you know?
And it's like not super clear. Like there's a degree of suspense because
yes, tension is back.
Yeah, that's it. Like he is feeding off the fear. He doesn't necessarily want us to know what's about to happen, I guess. And even once they go in, I don't really understand what happens to them.
Yeah.
Which I like. I don't understand, like, is he taking her there to then kill her? Because like he could just kill her in real life. I don't know, once we actually get inside the Black Lodge, there's no clear sense of what has happened to them other than their souls are here now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no actual chance even to rescue Annie, really.
Yeah. It's so much worse in the shooting script, and we can keep checking in on that. I really like the idea of going through the episode and just like peeking into the alternate universe of the shooting script. But for now, want to take us to the Hurley house?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Hurley household. The first thing I notice is all the furniture. There's no furniture in the middle of the room.
Yes.
The light is sort of a warm kind of reddish yellow, and the floor is carpeted, and there are lamps all around, and it reminds me so much of the Palmer household when Maddie is murdered. Like, so much.
Absolutely.
And this is not the last time that'll happen in this episode.
Yeah.
Nadine and Mike are both wearing bandages from their recent facial feminization surgery, with like, you know, around the brow and then around the chin. It's like really the exact thing. So we've got Nadine and Mike, we've got Ed and Norma. Both these couples are together, and then Doc Hayward is like checking in on them, basically. Mike starts speaking in a very mature and like gathered way to Nadine about how, you know, how upsetting all that was, and how, you know, I've had my doubts about us, but after that, I just felt so terrified of losing you in that moment when was it like a sandbag that hit her head?
Yeah.
Nadine responds to all of this with alarm, mostly. She's like disturbed, you know? She says, "You say your name is Mike? What are you doing in my house?" And she's like slowly retreating and sort of like scrambling, trying to hold on to stuff. It's really, she's like so scared. In this moment, actually, her fear towards this very normal Mike sort of reminds me of the other Mike, you know, the one who like appears in visions and stuff.
Yeah.
And those two have never had like a direct line drawn between them. I kind of figured it was just like a vague gesture at doppelgangers. But here it's like, oh, this is a mystery man. And he's in her house. And oh my God, that's so fucked up. It's sort of like Sarah Palmer's vision early in the show.
Yeah.
Basically, her memory is back, but she does not have any memory of the time she spent with Mike as a, you know, teenage girl.
Yeah.
She sees that Ed is with Norma and is just like heartbroken at this. She immediately understands what's going on there. And she just goes like, she just breaks down crying, and she says, "It's not fair.
I
Please."
know. It's so fucked up that you predicted this, but not in the just really sad, deflated way that it happens.
Yeah. Oh, I was not expecting anything close to this, even if I was like technically kind of right.
Yeah.
There is a callback to the Drape Runners, so partial marks on that from last episode.
The big things to me that jumped out at me, okay, yes, one, it looks just like the Palmer house. And honestly, Norma kind of looks like Laura. As like, this is kind of just like getting Boss Baby vibes from another blonde woman, but there's like something about the way she's like standing smiling. And as the scene opens, Ed is like kind of snapping his fingers and doing a little dance. Like he's still in the like, oh, and we're going to be able to finally get married. And it reminds me of The Man from Another Place.
How so? The Man from Another Place?
Well, when he does the dance in Dale's dream.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden just like taking all of the comedy out of this plotline that for its entire existence has been strictly comedic, and just saying like, no, it's just sad now. And like the fact that this happened to her and now she's back is like,
yeah,
Ed and Norma have been robbed of being able to be together. Like her and Mike seem to have something, but it was like a dream. It was a lie. And now we're forced out of the dream. And like, as she's running and Ed is like grabbing her and being like, "How old are you?" He is like almost violent. Like it also recalls Bob grabbing Maddie to me.
Absolutely. Well, the strange thing here is like Nadine is stepping back into being 35, but she's speaking not as a scared adult or teenager, but almost as a child. Like,
Yeah.
she just is
Yeah.
so confused, you know? And Ed is sort of handling her as a child too, like just trying to physically control her
Yeah.
and get what he's sort of treating like a temper tantrum under control.
Yeah.
It's messed up. We've only ever sort of framed Ed as a really good guy, and this is just every man is manhandling in this episode, and I don't fuck with it.
Yeah. It's really like, it's like turning to the audience and like what the show has been for the past bit and just being like, you want to play with someone like that and pretend that it's all fun and games? No, it's really sad. Snap out of the dream. It's oh.
Yeah.
My other note is partially a goofy one and partially a serious one. The crazy paintings, they have like
Yeah.
3D Christmas themed paintings in their living room that I don't know that we've seen before.
It's really strange.
And they're also like have, I believe, like lit up Christmas things, but also stoplights. Like I think it's like literally,
I don't read it as Christmas themed, but it is. There are definitely lights.
I think one of
behind
them, well, it's like wintry. I believe one of them does have a big like candy cane. I'm pretty sure, like the one behind Norma in the screenshot.
It looks like a barbershop pole to me, but anyway,
Oh,
it's definitely
yeah.
super, super kitschy and like
Yeah.
unexplainable.
But also interesting to invoke the stoplight image again all of a sudden.
Oh, that's interesting.
With like that there are these things that I think are literally like have little light bulbs in them and are lit up that are all these stoplights is really interesting.
I also noticed the fireplace is going during the scene,
Yes.
which feels like it could be something.
Yeah, it's really is just like what a crazy turn from every Nadine scene up until now. And speaking of, shall I take us to our next one that's also a crazy turn to a B plot?
Please do.
So I guess Doc Hayward goes from here back home, where Donna is like about to storm out, having this feels like this confirms that Ben is her dad even more than last episode did. So she's like storming out. Her mom, Eileen, is like, please don't go. And Ben is saying, I just wanted to be good. Doc Hayward basically comes in and is like, get out of here. And Ben is again giving us his lines of like, I just wanted to do good. It felt so good to tell the truth, to do the right thing. And he's telling Donna like it's not your parents' fault, it's mine. And we still don't even get the full story. We don't know if like they adopted her because we don't know if Eileen Hayward is her mother. We don't know if like Ben's the dad and then they adopted her. Maybe Eileen's not able to have kids. We knew she's in a wheelchair. Like
Consensual throuple.
We have no idea. All we know is that Hayward comes in and Benny like starts giving his like, I just wanted to do the right thing. And then Hayward just fucking like punches him out, like slams his head into the fireplace, very much evoking Maddie's murder. And then he falls down to the floor. We see he's like all bloody and like all of the Haywards are like horrified. And that's the end.
Yeah, man.
It's so interesting. Like, again, another thing being like this has been a like kind of fun, soapy, investigative plot line. And we're just going, no, it's going to be fucked up. It's so interesting. Again, I think I talked about this a bunch last episode, but like Ben's single-minded idea of like, I need to do good. I will see good things only, and like leading to harm and evil, just like Dale these past handful of episodes.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
It feels so much like the dream of suspended disbelief of the Nadine plotline and this plotline of like we've been engaging in this kind of soap or comedy genre is like suddenly like splash water thrown on you and you're awake and it's a nightmare or like a grim reality now.
I really like how this could lead into season 3, which people always talk about as like just much darker all around and not soapy at all.
Yeah.
I have a couple of thoughts on this scene.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, yeah, the Doc Hayward and Ben thing, very evocative of Maddie's murder. In particular, it's the camera work. Like when he slaps Ben like really hard, the camera does this quick pan across the entire corner of the room, which reminds me of The Chase.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a way, like the camera work there. Also, here's the thing. when Ben is on the ground bleeding from his forehead,
Mm-hmm.
I notice like his movement is kind of like jittery and strange, and so is his breathing. And I kind of think that they reversed the shot. I
Oh,
think
wow. That
it
would be
might be
so
backwards.
cool. That would be so cool.
Very subtle effect because he is just like basically not moving. But I kind of think that might be what's happening there.
Oh, I'm looking at it. You might be right. Oh, that's so cool. Oh,
Crazy.
the other thing that I'm seeing in your notes that I forgot to mention is Ben's wife does arrive, who we haven't seen since like the first or second episode of the whole show.
I forgot she existed. I famously
Yeah.
called Ben a single dad like
Yeah.
earlier
Yeah.
this month.
And like you say in your note, he's basically like, shut up. I told you to stay home. Like again, his like, I'm just gonna do the right thing, like falls apart immediately.
Yeah. It's because this is not part of his plot line. He's like,
Yeah.
stay out of my little scheme to be a good guy. To you, I must be awful.
Yeah.
Also, a bit of a rough awakening as someone who
Mhm.
has generally bought into the whole like Ben is good now thing.
And it's like, it doesn't feel like necessarily like he could continue from this and keep trying to be good, but like it's, I think, giving real weight and gravitas to his shortcomings and his inability to fully understand what that means.
Sure. I will say it's strange, and I have a bit of a difficult time squaring why should everyone be upset at Ben for this? Because Donna wanted to know. I think she had a right to know. But even she in the scene is like totally devastated, and she hugs her dad and goes, "You're my daddy, you're my daddy." As if she was not like actively seeking out this information. It's interesting that then she goes back to loyalty with the people who have, been deceiving her and did not trust her to have this information.
Okay, I have a thought. Something I thought earlier, but I didn't say, was the way Pete, in that first scene, when Dale's like, "That's not the log lady," and Pete is like, "Sure looked like it." And the thing is, clearly just looked like Wyndham Earl. Did not really actually look like the log lady. But there is, again, shout out Mulholland Drive, a bit of a like no hi banda going on. In the sense of like, the thing of like waking up from the dream is like, there's all these people that are having to choose between the idea of living in the dream illusion lie that is like the beautiful TV reality of Twin Peaks. Like same with Nadine in a, it's like a quote unquote medical condition, but she's like is forced to not live in this lie anymore, even though she would honestly prefer to, probably, like, she was happier there.
Yeah.
I think like Pete also like believing that that's just the log lady is like, oh, well, I'd rather live my life in a way that I can just see, something and think that it's just real as opposed to a performance for me. Like no hi banda, in the sense that he wants to believe that that guy's actually playing the trumpet, and that is like, that like he doesn't want to think about it being a constructed illusion, in the same way he sees someone in costume as the log lady and he's like, oh, I just want to believe that that's the log lady. I think there's something going on here too about we're being confronted that there is a darker truth underneath the illusion of, who her real parents are. And now that she's seen it, she's like, I want to keep living in the illusion, actually.
Oh, there it is. Dude, you've got it. That's totally.
In the same way that like this is, I think Dale sees that darker truth and he's like, I would be happier living in the version of the show where I don't see the dark truth that runs underneath all this,
Totally. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's very clarifying.
Shall we move on along?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Next up, we have a key scene, but make no mistake, it is not a key scene because this is a quick one. This is Andrew at the Martell residence, which I guess is called the Blue Pine Lodge, which has been very confusing this whole time. He is taking a look at the key from the ingot last episode in the bread saver thing.
Yeah.
He goes, I knew it looked familiar, and he grabs it and he switches it out for a key of his own that looks nearly identical. It is for a safety deposit box. He says something akin to, they'll never know it was taken. They'll never know about my evil scheme. And since he says it out loud, Pete walks in and is like, oh, Andrew.
I gotta say, Catherine's like, we'll keep it in plain sight, really didn't account for nighttime.
Yeah, it's true. It could have been that Pete was going to go tell Catherine, but no, it sets up that instead it's like, oh, well, now that I know, we have to be in cahoots about this, which is really great.
Yeah, I agree.
That's about it.
Yep.
Next up, this is something a little bit more consequential, which is Coop and Harry are headed to the Glastonbury Grove. Coop just gets like some like strange thing comes over him, and he says, "Harry, I have to go on alone." And he refuses to explain this to Harry, just hands him, I think, the flashlight and keeps walking. Harry like follows him from a ways behind. And as Coop walks through the dark woods on his own, he looks up and sees an owl. And then once he gets to the grove, there's like a pool of dark water.
I think it's supposed to be the burnt oil.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Surrounded by these 12 sycamore trees. I don't think I've seen sycamore trees in real life before, and they're really visually interesting. They're like a little red tinged, and these ones are very young, which is interesting to me. Like, they're small.
Yeah, I also noted that.
Which kind of makes me wonder, like, how long has this been here? Because I kind of thought it was just going to be something that had been there forever. But no, these trees look like 5 years old.
So it's funny. There is definitely a like meta explanation of that. That's like, if you're making a fake circle of trees in the forest, they kind of have to be small ones. But
that's true.
I think there's something about like they're young and they're dead. They don't have any leaves. There's something there about like, you know, these spirits love to kill young women and like strike people down in their youth.
True.
And then like keep them as that in the Black Lodge, right? As we see, like they're forced to be in this young dead state forever. It feels like it could have been there for like 500 years and they've just been held in that state forever, you know?
Oh, I fucking love this. I love it.
Yeah.
The pool of liquid in the middle, also kind of like an eye, also kind of like a coffee cup.
Yeah.
Oh, the flashlight in this episode, Wyndham's flashlight is also, you pointed this out previously, that the flashlights were kind of like eyes with like the darker portion in the middle. But here I'm really feeling it. Anyway, Dale knows what he has to do. It's almost like a trance has come over him too, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like he stops like frozen as if he like received a signal.
Yeah. And he just walks really slow and steady up, through the circle, and this red curtain appears. He opens it up and walks through.
The effect is so good.
Oh my God. Oh,
I love the effect of like overlaying the curtains in the woods is so good. And we get the little like spirit shine sound effect that we've been hearing when spirit like the
dude. And yeah, Harry watches all this and he goes like, oh my God, it's gorgeous. I'm curious how we're meant to interpret those two shots, Dale with the curtains and then Harry. Like, is it that the curtains physically appeared and Harry saw them? Or is that just like, is that a bit of an explanation to us, the viewer? Because he never acknowledges there being curtains,
It feels to me like it's like that space in between, like sort of how seeing the giant in Lonely Souls was to Coop. Like, I think that Harry sees it, but sees it in this like
mind's eye kind of way.
And in a way that like doesn't entirely register to his conscious self. That makes him not go, oh my God, I just saw curtains,
I love it.
Is the vibe I get. But it's just such a good effect. I do have another script check in. So.
Oh, please.
In the shooting script, because my other big note on this is just like, this is where I first wrote, oh my God, tension is back. Like there's this big, slow, distant shot of them walking up to the pickup. And like the way Coop just doesn't answer at all. It does so much to build this tension and to build the sense that like he's cluing into something in this intuitive way that's unclear to us and that we don't know. Now in the shooting script, Coop says, to fear the worst often causes the worst. He's going to terrify her, Harry. He did it to me. It's what he did to Carolyn. Face to face with all that's intolerable. All that's evil. Truman, getting his bearings. He can't terrify anyone with a bullet between his eyes. It's this way. And then we cut again to Earl and Annie going into the trees. Annie, what are we doing here? Earl, a momentary pause in limbo, dear. Please be patient. Pity young Dale will miss all the fun. Always felt we were sort of lodge brothers. Then she starts praying, and he's like, prayers? What a revolting disappointment. Cut back to Dale and Coop walking. Coop, Harry, all my skills, intuitions, and dreams have led me to the threshold of what is completely unknown, led me in a direction I never could really see. In spite of Earl's prideful insanity, in spite of my best reasoning, only one truth is clear. Whatever it is so right. Bad. I'll take it from here, Harry. Alone. Cover me. This is how it's supposed to be. Truman stops, realizes the truth of what he's saying. Go. Go. It just like,
oh, fuck off.
I know, like cutting like 90% of that dialogue and just saying like it has to be me and then not answering why, and Truman like not being like go but being like why and left with this uncertainty. It's so much better. And again, like just fucking Wyndham Earl won't shut up, and again, as has been in all these past episodes, Dale won't shut up about Earl's prideful insanity. Like it's crazy. Oh god, there's even more. Sorry, there's like, I'm sorry, I know I won't read literally all of it, but like cut back to Earl with Annie going into the grove. Earl says, you and I have an appointment at the end of the world, imitating a railway conductor. Toot toot, bored. This is where it ends and the fun begins. Get ready for first class despondency and madness. The bewitching hour looms brightly. If only young Dale had lived to see it. Annie, he's not dead. Oh, Cooper's dead, all right. Gone and soon forgotten. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Didn't I mention it? I meticulously splattered his brains across the back of the roadhouse just before we left. Poor studious little Dale. Never saw it coming. Not even time for one of his pithy observations. You see, he was too busy looking after you, left himself wide open. Same thing happened the last time when he fell in love with my wife. Takes out a knife. I took the boy right to the edge that time. Opened him up like a zipper. 6 months to put back all the pieces. Carolyn, the unfaithful whore, she died quickly, much better than she deserved. Don't be so prissy. There's nothing serious in mortality. Renaud and Grace come afterwards. In fact, they come right here in this place where the nectar of life will be drawn.
I can't do this.
And then he says, I tell you, they have not died. Their hands clasp yours and mine.
That was like a fucking novel. I've aged.
Yes, it's so bad. Oh, and by the way, then Annie sees a vision of a Mother Superior nun. Who turns into Earl to grab her and pull her into the Black Lodge.
Okay, I wouldn't mind some more Catholic imagery in here, but with that aside, that's disastrous. I actually really love that they kept in the question but not the answer. That feels like a bit of a middle finger to this entire style of writing.
Yeah.
It's not just that they're not talking, it's that they're calling attention to the fact that they're not talking.
Yes. No, and like I thought this earlier actually, if I meant to say it when you said like you left this episode with more questions, and I'm like, yeah, that's what good Twin Peaks does. And all of these past things, they've just been telling us about how many twisted interlocking mysteries are in Wyndham Earl's mind, but we've never had this uncertainty in these questions. It's really like there's a core of this dialogue that they kept. And then they like, it's like they had a hamburger. And then all of this writing that got cut is like they took like a full bottle of ketchup and just fucking squeezed it over and over and for like 12 minutes, just being like, I need more ketchup here. It's not, there's not enough, you know? Yeah, it's crazy.
That's so funny.
So, what actually happens is that Coop steps through those curtains and into what we now understand to be the Black Lodge, the Red Room from the dream way back at the beginning. We have the zigzag floor, the curtains,
It's
and
been so long.
Oh, I got such chills from like, oh my god, we're here again, and like the music and the logic of the episode so far is just shattered, and we're just in this world where anything can happen. He dreamed it. And like also, I remember like when we were first talking about this before, you were like, yeah, it's the thing from his dream. Because like up until now, it's just been the thing that he dreamed about once. And like, it makes it so much more terrifying for it to be like, it was a dream that was connecting to like some, you know, spiritual like truth, but then to be like, no, it's a real place, or you know, like a real like metaphysical place, and like now you're there. is I don't know, there's just something about that that's like so much scarier than we'll get into it, but the way that the Black Lodge is represented in the original Shooting Crypt is kind of like just a limitless void and the / a dark version of the Great Northern Hotel. And there's so much better to be like this weird space that we saw in a dream. He was dreaming about hell. He was dreaming about being in effectively hell, and now he's there. It's like,
which is a physical part of the real world.
Yeah. It's so good. And so the layout of this space is kind of like there's this, I guess, hallway. It's like a little rectangular hallway, and like all the walls are just the red curtains. And the hallway is connected at both ends to a version of the room that we saw from that dream. And for the rest of the episode, he's just going to be going from one room to the hallway, to the other room, to the hallway, back to the other room. And the two rooms are identical, but always changing.
Dude, I'm amazed how small this place is. Like, for all it's talked about, I had a picture of it in my head as like, yeah, the sort of limitless, I want to say House of Leaves style, as if I've read that. It's so small. It's really strange.
And so he wanders into the kind of main room area, and it's like in his dream, and the man from another place is there, and he's dancing, and there's this song playing, and then someone starts singing, and there's just a guy singing, and it's a beautiful, melancholic, like soulful, like eerie song.
I got idea, man. You take me for a walk under the sycamore tree, the dark trees that blow, baby, in the dark trees that blow, and I'll see you.
The lyrics, like, I'll see you in the breeze, I'll see you in the trees.
And I'll see you in the branches that blow.
What does that remind me of? Let me...
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Strange Fruit.
Oh, sure, like, I'll see you in the trees. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think about all the time, which is famous song like about
the most famous version is Billie Holiday's.
Yeah, about lynching.
Yeah.
That's what it always evokes to me. And honestly, in a way that I'm like, if I have a criticism, I'm kind of like, I don't think this episode or the show really is engaging with like lynching or anti-blackness in any meaningful way, but it's like evoking that in a way that maybe is a bit, overreaching, but
it's not a connection that I made.
Fair enough. But it is just gorgeous.
It really is a beautiful, beautiful song.
And it's just happening. Like, there's no explanation. It's just, this song is here now. And even like, I love, we like the shot we get of the man from another place dancing, we see like shoes at the corner of the frame. And it's like, what the fuck are those? And then we see it's just a guy singing. And it's not like he's one of the like known spirits that we've encountered before or even will ever see again. He's just there singing. Oh, it's so good.
It's really cool. Okay, also in that shot of the man from another place dancing, there's also like a big long cable running along the floor. I think it might have just been like a mistake, but
no, I think it's supposed to connect to his microphone. Like, I think that's what the guy's singing into.
It looked like it led into a lamp to me. Like it, I don't know if the spatial thing of that would work, but one kind of thing about that, just like the cord along the floor, is it made it feel way more like a standard, like American living room.
Oh, I love
and
that.
It kind of made it feel to me like, oh, so this big space with some furniture in the corners and then a bunch of space in the middle. This is also like the Palmer living room.
God. Oh, that's so good.
So even if it was a mistake, I wound up liking it.
Yeah, I love that.
Do we know anything about like sycamore trees as a symbol? Like, is there anything really distinguishing about them? I think of it as a very American tree. So, I mean, that's fitting, obviously.
I don't know. According to treefluent.com, strength and resilience, connection with nature. This is a real AI written treefluent.com. Yeah, I don't really know, honestly.
I just am delighted by a musical performance in here. Like every time this is deployed, it's so striking.
Yeah.
And it's actually made me want to do that too. Like I want to do like a little in the middle of one of my videos, just like a song by a guy.
Oh, and there was a couple episodes ago when I was like, I can definitely think of a diegetic song bingo. This is, I think,
the one you were thinking of.
Oh yeah, this is like fucking diegetic song of all time. It's so good.
Totally.
Hey, want to take a peek into the shooting script alternate universe?
Always, Sadie.
So, Cooper is in a dark space, limitless. Annie? His voice echoes no reply. A bright light shines, and the Guardian, cowled in shadow, stands before him. And then there's a flash. He finds himself in a shabby motel office, a raging wind outside, slamming doors. At the reception desk, a clerk wearing a bizarre orthopedic brace, a tracheectomy plug in his throat. The clerk speaks as if to answer Coop's question. He'd said, "Where am I?" I said, "Home. Is this the Black Lodge?" "Name, please." We then see Cooper's replaced by himself as a little boy, and his father is there, who says, "There are fresh towels in every room." He says, "Father, listen to me. I need your help. Cable TV, including 3 adult entertainment channels, and a fruit basket with our compliments. You will need a key." And he gives him a key. He says, "I love you." And then the flash of light, end of Act 2. No sauce. So much worse.
No, this is like, it's like a Treehouse of Horror sketch.
Yeah, no, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It's actually like a specific short film I saw a couple years ago that was specifically clearly ripping off David Lynch.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah, that's not boo.
Yeah.
Okay, the Guardian. Is that like hooded figure that we saw in that big bright white space a few episodes ago? There was just like one shot of this.
Yeah. I think so. Unclear, to be honest.
I feel like I'm not upset if they removed the Guardian from the show's canon and that was just a one-off thing.
Anyway, what happens next in the real show?
Okay, yeah. We get a fade into, I think, trees, and then another fade into the bridge that Ronette Pulaski crossed back into Twin Peaks. We're thinking about thresholds this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Andy and Harry just kind of sitting on a log. Harry's been here for like 10 hours, and Andy, all-time sweetheart, is just like, "Do you want coffee?" Harry says yes. "Do you want a plate special? Do you want dessert? Do you want pie?" The answer to all of which is yes. I don't know what a plate special is necessarily.
I know.
But yeah, they're just staying there watching. Not a bunch happens. And actually the point of this is that not a bunch happens.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge thing I thought was cool. We have not, as I've lamented, checked in on Ronette in a while, whose experience of this was surely fascinating. And honestly, I feel like we could have solved this whole thing like 20 episodes sooner if we just asked her, what was that like?
Yeah.
But it made me think of this one song that has been in my life for many years. I'm gonna link it in the show notes. It is called Crab Orchard by the band Songs Ohio, which is like at this point a solo project by Jason Molina. It is like a very sad sort of slow American folk song about this guy who's being like hunted through the woods and hoping that he survives. And it's just like very tragic. And there's this one line,
My loyalty to crossroads and thresholds comes with my rising hope to leave this hunt unfollowed.
which felt vary this episode. And yeah, one of my favorite songwriters. Highly recommend. That whole album is great.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So I guess that's my note for this one.
I love this little scene. There's like, I love like Andy's so caring. There's like a bit of comedy and Andy just keeps listing off different things. And Harry's just like, yes to all of them. But
yeah,
like,
I love that he's not irritated. He's like, yeah, all that sounds great. Thank you so much.
yeah, no, but like, you know, not taking his eyes off the trees the whole time. This really hits, I think, the core of Andy to me, which is like, there is a comedy, but it's also, there is such a pathos. And honestly, like, they're just both so stressed. They're both just sitting there and Andy's fucking scared and Harry's like, ugh, and it's so good. Meanwhile, in shooting script land,
there's so much of these.
Oh God. Oh yeah. So as we see it, he's like, Andy's just like, do you want breakfast? Do you want coffee? And he's like, yes, yes. In the shooting script, Andy, you sure you don't want anything to eat? Truman, no. If you're hungry, Andy, call. I don't want anything. I'm not moving from here until we know where they went and when they're coming back. Just like,
oh, please.
Every character needs to announce to the camera their motivations and intentions, or else we'll never know. And then, near the center of the grove, the air seems to shift shape, move, and alter. A gleaming white shield appears, and behind it, a hand holding a silver sword. It is a tall, dark woman wearing glittering chainmail. She sees Truman, holds the sword out toward him. Truman says, "Oh my God." And then we snap to Dale back at the lodge. It's just like, what are we doing? Why
There's
are we?
not really much there.
No, it's not. Okay. Also, there's another scene in the shooting script that's like another version of this. That's Andy coming up to Harry, which is I think we got a version of this like when, you know, Andy's like stumbling up to him. This scares the hell out of Truman. Andy notices the horse costume leaning against a tree. Remember the horse costume from when Wyndham Earle like kidnapped Garland Briggs?
I do.
And was like, "Hello, Wilbur." Andy, "Sheriff, look." Truman, "Stay away from that, Andy." But Andy's already over there. Andy, no, there's a note in the horse's mouth. He takes the note out and it says, "Don't look a gift horse in the mouth," as a net drops on top of him.
Oh, what?
Why?
That
Why?
Sucks.
What's going
that
on?
Sucks.
It's so overwritten. It's crazy.
This sucks.
Yeah, what happens to the next to the real show?
I think the next one is your scene
Oh,
that
it
you were
is.
so
Oh, yes.
delighted to share.
This is the first time, like, we shall let Lily claim the scenes that she wants. The first time I've actively claimed a scene since, like, the second episode of our podcast. Because honestly, to me, when I think of this episode, I think of the Black Lodge sequence, and I think of this scene. Because this scene is, like, to me, emblematic of another kind of the sauce that the show has been missing. So, Audrey is going to the Twin Peaks Savings and Loan Bank to protest the Ghostwood project, in line with what she talked about with Ben last episode. She walks up, there's like two very elderly clerks, including this guy who I have immediately fallen in love with, Del Nibbler. She walks right past him and chains him up, or chains herself to the door to the vault. She says, "Call Twin Peaks Gazette, ask for Dwayne Milford Jr., because I'm here to protest, and you're going to tell them all about it." And like she walks in and he's so happy to see her. He's like, "Oh, this is my fortunate day."
A beautiful young lady.
Yeah. As she's giving her huge speech, he like says something in like, I think maybe German or something, or Russian. And he's like,
I was really having trouble making it out.
He's just like the most bumbling, slow old man. He's like, "Oh, we must make a telephone call? Yeah." And like she's like going, "Yeah, and call the police, ask for Agent Dale Cooper." I do love this, is like she's meaningfully pursuing her father's like quest for good in this way. But like the big thing about this, pacing. We're slowing down.
It's true.
You know, I've talked about how in love I am with the season 2, episode 1, like when they spend 6 minutes bringing him a glass of milk. This is the same vibe. I literally was counting. So she locks herself up, she chains herself up, and she's like, "Oh, and can you bring me a glass of water?" And then we spend 70 seconds. I counted 1 minute and 10 seconds of him slowly walking to the end of the room, getting a glass of water, slowly bringing it back to her, feeding it to her, He walks all the way back. He puts it down. He comes back and like, oh, halfway he's like, oh, as if I forgot something. Oh, walks a bit back. And then Andrew and Pete come in to do their half of the scene.
A huge part of why this works is whoever this guy is, Del, he's just a great body actor. First of all, he's a very diminutive figure. This is kind of how I pictured David Sedaris. He just like his knees are always a little bit bent and his arms are always a little bit out. It's just like really great to watch him move. Every time the show introduces a new old person, every time anything David Lynch introduces a new funny looking old person, there's nothing better. The pacing thing I love, and I can't even really explain why it works, because like it sounds boring to just wait for a guy to get you water for a minute, but it flew by. I don't know, it was totally gripping for some reason.
I think to me it's like this is up there with cutting away from like Maddie's murder to get the Mr. fucking Tajimura reveal. Like we just had the most like, we're so locked in on what's happening to Dale in the Black Lodge. And I think then really spending your time on this is like really, really ratcheting the tension up so much.
Yeah, we spend so much time away from Dale. It's like insane. It's crazy to just take a break right now.
And it works so well because we're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And I don't know, it's just like it feels also like such an intentional strike back at the utilitarian, procedural, like every line someone says is just only to push the plot forward in a mechanical, like sauceless way that the show has been for the past bit. It's like, no, we're spending 1 minute and 10 seconds getting a glass of water. And even so, then the other half of the scene, Andrew and Pete come in because of their fucking key that they had in the ingot to the deposit box. And we stay in this super wide, far away shot of the three of them coming in.
It's a little disconcerting.
Yeah, we like don't cut in close to them to have them introduce each other. And it's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah. Also, the way they're introduced is really unsettling, which is just Del going, you,
yes.
you.
Yes. Yes.
Obviously he thinks Andrew is dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, like the funeral, and like we don't cut into that. We're like kept so far away. It's so good. And it keeps going. They're like, oh, we're going to come look at the deposit box. And so they come in and she has an exchange with Andrew where he's like, young woman, why are you chained here? She's like, civil disobedience. He's like, well, I admire your verve, but I need to get it there, whatever. Goes in, we get this huge, like long sequence where Andrew walks in and is like, wait, I don't know which one this opens. And he gives it to Del Mibbler. Fucking great name. And Del Mibbler is like looking at the key, has to pull out his magnifying glass. He's like, wait, what is this? And he's so confused for like 5 seconds.
It's funny for the same reason like Lucy talking forever is funny. It's like part of it is the surprise of how long it's taking.
So, and then the phone rings and we're like, oh my God, is it going to be the police? What's it going to be? And then, a cop does in fact walk in and picks up the phone and says, it's a boy.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Just completely unrelated. And again, I just, every time I think about watching this with Benji and being like, do you know how expensive it is to put a minute of anything on television? You know, like hundreds of thousands of dollars on getting water, and it's a boy, and wait, what's this key? And Lily, last time,
it's so funny.
I was pressing you because you were like, yeah, there's going to be something really goofy in the deposit box, and I was like, what is the funniest thing that could be in there? And you know what I think it is? From the guy who we're supposed to believe that he really thought that Andrew was dead the whole time, or he had inklings, whoever the fuck knows. He just put a bomb. They did all that. They had a box.
Crazy.
They opened the one box by dropping it. That had another box. They smashed it open. That had another box. They did a fucking like Zodiac puzzle, guessed a random date on it. It opened. It had an ingot. They shot the ingot. The ingot had a key. They bring it to the bank. They get past Audrey, who has chained herself to it. At first I thought she would chain herself to it in a way that like you can't open it, but she just chained herself to the door.
I think she also expected that people wouldn't be able to get in, and then she just has to like step back awkwardly, shuffle with the door. So funny.
Hey, but you know what? She's kind of just like me for real.
How so?
Well, we'll decide. We'll decide whether to cut this or not based on how public I am about this. But being consequences of doing civil disobedience at a bank.
Oh my God, right. Oh my God.
And hey, listen, you know what they tell you when you do a sit-in is you want to send your message, but technically you have to not stop people from doing business. If the bank closes, it's their decision, because if you stop them from doing business, then you're committing criminal mischief in Canada, at least.
Right.
So listen,
right.
maybe she's studied up. She's like, I'm not stopping you from doing business, but I am making it awkward and sending my message. But it does mean that she is now basically just the door and like is standing there.
So
and then
funny.
so anyway, they do all that. They open the deposit box, and what is in there? A bomb with like comical like clock attached to dynamite bomb with a note that says, "Got you, Andrew," and then it explodes. It's so funny.
Oh, it's incredible. It explodes. This ends on a cliffhanger. We don't know if any of these people are alive. The windows blow out, which was great.
Yeah.
And I love, we see like the glasses flying through the air, right? And landing on these branches.
Yeah.
But none of these people appeared to be anywhere near a window. It's almost like non-Euclidean in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like it's also like just making us think about trees again, but also in a way that's such plausible
Sure.
deniability of like, wow, it exploded so much that Del Mabler's glasses got thrown all the way out there. Are they dead? It sure seems like they would be, except maybe not. It's so good.
Except maybe not. I guess we'll see next season. And I guess we will see next season. I have a pretty confident called shot, which is that Audrey survived and no one else did, because as we know, Jack Nance died before the return came out. Okay, I absolutely adore this scene, and I have a take. Can I share my take?
Please.
I think this is a perfect way to tie up Audrey's arc, even though it doesn't seem directly related to most of what she's been up to, because in the early days of the show, right? My take on Audrey was she sees that everything is artifice, but she loves it. She has fun with it. She's happy to perform. So this is like a really goofy performative publicity stunt. And that is like perfectly in her wheelhouse.
Yeah.
She is making a purely symbolic, funny, flashy gesture as a way to gain influence. And she's like, call up the newspaper. This is exactly what she should be doing with her life. She should be a publicist. She should work for a fucking like trashy news tabloid.
Yeah.
She's a genius and I love her. And I also love how she kind of gets her hopes up when the phone rings. There's a sense that could have been Dale or the newspaper or a police officer, etc. But no, it's not. It's a red herring, you know? And it just reminds me how much we have all failed to like come in time to save anybody in this show.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that could have interrupted the disaster. This is the one thing that could have helped her make a difference. And I guess I'm thinking about how long she was stuck at One-Eyed Jack's.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Help not coming being a really recurring thing for the young women of the show.
Well, and I think it's interesting that like this is her, you know, performatively but meaningfully pursuing her father's quest for good. But
yeah,
Ben was so embroiled in all of like the Packard, like, you know, for a whole bunch of the show, Ben was like squarely in the Packard Mill schemes, like corner of the show. And all that is what leads to this bomb going off. Like, in the same way that the other episode with Ben, this is his like trying to be good, but the evil that he has sown and the schemes that he has sown coming back to sabotage that. Like he's sending his daughter to go and protest this bank as part of his quest for good or whatever. But like the fact that he was doing business with these people means that there's a bomb there that goes off on her.
Shit, you're so right.
And she's the one who has to pay the price for it, you know?
Not the women.
I have a question about another one of your notes.
Okay, please.
Well, okay, you say last week we were talking about Judy Garland, and now this guy's Del Mibler. Not a coincidence. I'm not catching the reference there. What is Del Mibler referencing?
Okay, yes. Okay, so I thought his name was Del Midler, as in Bette Midler.
Oh.
So I think it's just that I misheard. But I do feel like Mibbler could be a fun little scramble of Midler, like just as a way to give this guy a silly name.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
that.
just me mishearing, which is why I didn't bring it up.
Well,
but...
I buy it though. That is how they do names in this show.
Yeah, okay. I feel like maybe I should just, if I have characters and things, I should also just name them by taking names from other real people. It's kind of great.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, we're about at the halfway point at 2 hours. Do we want to take a little break and come back with Tales from the Log?
Let's do it. We'll see ya on the flip side. Folks, this day's been coming for a long time. Our episode on Fire Walk With Me is out, and you can listen to it right now on the premium feed at tstv.show. It is, I don't know, something like 5 hours long. And I gotta tell you, I've now seen it, I think 3 times. What an impression that movie has made on me. It has sparked so much. This is almost certainly the longest episode we will ever release. And for good reason, because that is a dense and long and just like phenomenal movie. We're not going to paywall that episode forever. It feels too important. That episode will be out 2 weeks from today on the public feed on like podcast platforms and YouTube. However, bonus feed listeners will be getting a fun little extra, which is our next episode of TSTV DVD. Our patron exclusive bonus series will be about Twin Peaks: The Missing Pieces. That is the feature-length compilation of deleted scenes for Fire Walk With Me. It is fully 90 minutes. That does a lot more to build out the like murder investigations and really like Laura's life. There's so much of Laura and her family and her friends. It really brings a lot to the table. And apparently The Missing Pieces actually sets up a lot that is paid off in season 3, The Return. So if you want to hear about that, if you want to hear our takes, you can sign up at tstv.show. It is $3 simple every month, and it helps us hire an editor, and it helps us set aside time in our busy lives to make this show. Okay, back to it.
And we're back. I feel like I really did your "and we're back" there.
And we're back.
Exactly.
And it's time for everyone's favorite segment,
Tales from the Log.
Tales from the Log.
Okay. Like you said, there are a lot of people in this episode.
Yeah, I feel like our usual go-tos are mostly present. Like freaking Ronettes in this episode. Who is not in this episode?
Well, Jerry's still MIA. I think we did him last time, though. I forget. Catherine is not in this episode. Who apparently in the shooting script, another thing was that Catherine was going to run into the bank at the last second, basically.
Was the thing still going to blow up?
Yeah.
Okay, but just like with her also in there?
I guess so.
Well, that feels pointless, but okay. I feel like Catherine would make sense. I'm so sad that we were going to go this whole season without stamping the bingo for Jerry Horne's silly snack. That's not right.
I know.
I think there's something there for Catherine.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that these two guys are now in cahoots against her is really interesting.
Okay. She wakes up. The key has been swapped out. But here's the thing. I think she has some kind of system to tell when the key has been swapped out.
There's a secret pressure plate underneath, like in Indiana Jones, that she saw that it was lifted, you know? She checked the ledger.
Exactly. The ledger that recounts every time the pressure plate got lifted. We all know how it works. So what does she do about it? Like, she's not at the bank with them. Is she, like, watching from a distance as the bank blows up? Or is she, like off? Is she running off to prepare for something else?
What else does she have going on other than these two? There is a world in which, and this is insane, she had actually previously swapped out the key for her own safety deposit box key, in which she planted a bomb just so that if anyone stole the key that was there, they would open it and see that there was a bomb, and then they would die for betrayal.
Okay, actually, no, I have, sorry, not to no but you, but I think I've a possibility has crossed my mind that I'm in love with.
Okay, hit me.
You know what Catherine, we know she loves doing? Going in disguise as an old man.
Oh my god.
The truth is, Catherine was in this episode. Catherine was Del Mibbler.
There we go.
And was like, oh yes, and then I'll have the key and then I'll be able to open it and steal the thing before they do.
Oh, wow.
But then it exploded.
It's fascinating to think that she would have known enough about this to go to the bank, but not enough that she would have just stolen the key in the first place. But I love it. I see no major issues.
She's just too committed to disguises.
She disappears into her roles.
Exactly.
What a remarkable woman. I mean, look, one thing that I know about the show is that woman will never die. I expect to see her in the return, hopefully reprising Del's role. Yeah, I love it. All over it.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Tales from the Log.
Yeah, woohoo! Okay, what's next?
So we then have our final pre-Black Lodge sequence scene. This is also shooting script one that this scene was entirely added. This is not in the shooting script at all. And I'll just start us right off the top with my script check, because in the shooting script, this instead is Major Briggs leading Hawk to rescue Leo. We get them walking through the woods. We get Briggs saying that the drug Wyndham Earl gave him has, quote, apparently heightened my sense data. And he says this must have been what LSD in the 60s was like. He can hear the wind in the flowers as opposed to in the leaves. Shape, colors, smells. I'm bombarded. So he just tells us about that. Yep, it's bad. And then they open the door to where Leo is, and Leo's like, oh, hi. And then because he was no longer holding the string with his mouth, the spiders fall on him and kill him.
What? No!
The deadly tarantulas.
What? So he answers the door? No. How is the trap set up?
He's holding a string in his mouth that's stopping the spiders from falling on him. And then they walk in and he's like, oh my god, hi.
Oh, that's so dumb. Thank you. I'm glad to know this.
So in this actual scene.
Yeah, in this actual scene, please. It's a diner scene.
Yeah, it's the diner. We get an interesting transition from the last scene to this one where we see, we ended with the money and the trees outside the bank as the money and Del Mibbler's glasses landed on them. And then we cut to Lumber driving by the Double R Diner, which is another interesting, the show just reminding us again about wood and trees and the trees turning into money is interesting and the violent process of cutting them down to make that happen. And then we're in the Double R and everyone's in love. It's the Diner of Love. It's basically a replay of when we first see the diner in the pilot. Garland Briggs is there with his wife and they're so in love. And Bobby and Shelley are there and they're so in love. And this is the thing that's word for word from the pilot. We see Heidi, the German waitress who was in the pilot and then kind of never came back, show up.
Dude, I filled my I implanted a false memory about this, which is that she was another person who left the convent.
That's really
and
funny.
she was just new here. But I was confused about it because I was like, wait, the Germans aren't Catholic. It's so funny how quickly I just accepted that. The show has gotten me really good at filling in the blanks in nonsense ways.
That's really, really funny.
Yeah, so what is the thing with Heidi? They're joking about how she's late, but I don't really get what the joke is.
So, okay, in the pilot, she shows up And Shelley's like, oh, what kept you, Heidi? Seconds on Knockwurst this morning? She says, oh, I couldn't get to my car started. She says, too busy jump-starting the old man, huh?
They say jump-starting the old man again. And that's
Yeah.
the part that I don't get.
I think just to like say, like, it's happening. It is happening again. We are back. We're doing the same scene as in the pilot, you know?
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, it is like literally the seconds on Knockwurst. It is like the exact same dialogue, kind of like we've come full circle, right? We're back to like the cycle has come back. We're back right at the beginning. There's one thing in here that is not in the pilot, which is I think we saw I think we saw Bobby and Shelley doing this at some point. Was it when they were in the hospital? But Bobby's barking is back. I think my favorite recurring Bobby trait is that he loves to bark like a dog.
But here it's romantic.
Yeah. It was like famously in the pilot, it was Bobby and Mike were in jail barking at James to like threaten him.
Right.
And I think that what we've seen, I think it was when Shelley was in the hospital, like they did this to each other where they grab each other and they're like, arr, 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 as they're like,
oh my God.
Dog. It is very cute.
It's so cute.
He's like, oh, I want to marry you. And she's like, hey, I still got a ring on my finger to Leo. And this is the cut to Leo, which is, I think, the perfect comedy cut to how is Leo doing. Just cut for 1 second to close up on Leo's face, straining to hold the string in his mouth. And then we're back to the diner. It's so funny.
So it's used as like punctuation or percussion or something. It's like a semicolon or like a little cymbal hit, you know, like it's so quick. And I thought we were just going to transition to that scene.
Yeah. It has like Family Guy cutaway gag rhythm.
But it's horrific. It's so good. It's so good.
It's really good. And then we're back in the diner, and it turns out that this, like, you know, replay from the beginning is actually interrupted because in comes Jacoby with Sarah Palmer. And let me tell you once again, Jacoby has never dressed normal in his life. Now he's kind of the wizard. He has a Dan Flash's shirt, unbuttoned at the top with a tie just around his neck, a wizard hat, and a cape.
He's a sick man.
Yeah. Okay. He's wearing a blue turtleneck that the tie is over, by the way.
I think he has 2 watches on. I think he has a watch on each arm.
I think so. Yeah.
No one's doing it like him.
Also, I think his tie has a bunch of keys on it, it looks like. Anyway, he's never been normal. Sarah Palmer also kind of wearing that shit in this, like, patterned dress.
Oh, exquisite. The line that Jacoby says right as they walk in is really good.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, you were right. The major is here. It's implying that, like, he was, you know, with Sarah for therapy or whatever. She's like, the major is at the diner. I need to go deliver a message to him. Like, she had a premonition, which was correct.
Yeah.
So she goes up to say what she has to say to the major, which is in a, like, twisted voice. I'm in the Black Lodge with Dale Cooper. I'm waiting for you. And the waiting for you is like as we get the transition to the next scene. It's so cool. What do you have to make of this scene?
Well, I'm really glad we get it because it is set up early on that Sarah Palmer also has some kind of connection to the supernatural, that she has visions, she has some heightened awareness, and that was never really capitalized on.
Mm-hmm.
So I really love that she has like a wisdom here and a contribution. It makes me wonder, is her connection to the Black Lodge also because she was like abused by Leland? Or is this something that did Bob, you know, just like similarly torment her in her childhood as he did Leland?
Yeah. I think that is a big capital Q question.
Yeah. It's so cool. It must be so terrible to be Sarah Palmer and living with this
God
in your head.
Well, and I love that we get her back and the show just hasn't completely forgotten about her, even if it's just for this one little moment.
Yeah, I would be really disappointed if we never heard from her again as one of the kind of primary victims in the show.
Yeah. There's some, I'm just like, okay, this is making me think about some of the way people talk about Sarah Palmer that we will have to get into season 3 before I can talk about, but some of it makes me so mad. Is all I will say. Is all I will say. Is all I will say. But here's a question that I have, and
Please.
I frankly don't know the answer to, certainly with what we've seen, but even with the context of the whole show, I'm not very sure. Who is speaking? Is it Sarah Palmer? Is an entity speaking through Sarah Palmer? If so, what entity?
It feels completely unclear to me.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's like when we hear it, we like transition to the next scene, we see the curtains and we hear the "I'm waiting for you," and it's less, it doesn't have the like deep, distorted, fucked up thing like filter on it. Does it sound like the man from another place?
I would say in the second half it does, and in the first half it feels very deliberately unclear and kind of not similar to any one person.
It almost feels like a multitude of voices, like they're all speaking through her.
Yeah. Speaking through her is interesting. Like, I noticed watching it back just now, her eyes go really glassy right before she speaks. It feels like the same thing that happens to Annie before she is like brought into the Black
Yeah.
Lodge.
Like, the show drawing attention to this makes it so dark in a way that I like. I like that it hasn't completely forgotten about her, because it's like, if you're Sarah Palmer, this horrifying thing happened to you after presumably a version of it ongoing for years and years and years, and then everyone forgets about you. Like, she hasn't been on the show, and it could tell us that like off-screen Doc Hayward has been going to see her every week. I guess she's been doing therapy, but like we haven't seen any characters interact with her. It's like everyone just, like, it's the thing of someone underwent this grief and everyone's like, I don't want to have to think about that, so I'm just not going to talk to you. And she's just so isolated, and she's still like haunted. She's still being made to be a vehicle for these spirits now. And it's like, God, she just, it's so grim.
Oh my goodness. As far as like who it could be speaking through her, one possibility, okay? The fact that there is a younger Leland there who seems to be, to me, independent of the Leland who died in arbitrary law, makes me think there could also be a Sarah Palmer there. The Leland there is younger than the Leland we knew. So, you know, maybe there is also a younger Sarah there. Second, it could just be Leland speaking.
What makes
through
you say
her.
that Leland was younger?
I guess like the styling and the hair color.
I guess that's true. I don't know if that's him before his hair turned white just by it happening, but I didn't necessarily pick that up, but it's interesting. The hair definitely was noticeably like more light brown.
Yeah. So I could see it as Leland speaking through her also in like another moment of, you know, domination over one's wife. Like, I don't think it's Bob, because Bob doesn't speak in this like slow, measured, even tone.
Yeah.
The man from another place kind of does. That's sort of how his words are spaced out. I feel like it could also be sort of the lodge itself, if that makes sense. Like it's sort of like a false enticement. Even if no one in particular is waiting for him, this is like the lodge calling him in, beckoning him, you know?
Yeah, I kind of love that. And like, I'm waiting for you is such a grim, it feels like I'm waiting for you threatening, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, and speaking of, Lily, I think it's time for this season at least, the final edition of our most sporadic segment, Path to Floating Head.
Let's go.
You have known now for months and months that at some point, Garland Briggs will be a head floating in space.
Yes.
And this is like the most concrete thing in that direction that we have seen in quite some time. Tell me, how from here does he become a floating head in space?
I will remind everybody that way, way long ago, there was a thing with Garland Briggs's division of the military receiving signals from outer space.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, I actually don't remember exactly what they said, but they had to do with the Black Lodge, I'm sure. Do you remember?
I think it was that they were getting signals from outer space. It was like Project Blue Book. And then they realized that the signals were coming from the woods of Twin Peaks that pointed them to like that location of the gate to the Black Lodge effect is my what I surmise.
And the message was, it was something about the owls, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they were saying the owls are not what they seem, and like I think Dale Cooper, something along those lines. And then Dale was like, "Whoa, that's the sentence the giant told me."
So I guess my called shot here would have to be that there must be, oh my god, you know what's in space is the fucking planets. Oh, here we go. There's planets out there.
That's true. We have been hearing about planets.
We know that the Black Lodge opening, like the gate opening, has to do with
like planet alignment. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe there is another entry point sort of on one of those planets or between those planets. Oh, it's tricky because we know that he doesn't go in during this episode because Harry is there the whole time.
That's true. But he is told that they're waiting for him. Yeah.
Okay, here it is. It is relayed to Garland, maybe by Andy, maybe by Harry, where this portal is and how it functions.
Mm-hmm.
He has the entire months of April, May, and June to enter if he so chooses.
Yes.
I think he enters there, and maybe he is compelled to by the military because he discloses this message he received to them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not sure exactly why. Oh, here it is. Major Briggs is established as a good guy, right? A guy with a connection, in particular to the White Lodge, through his vision that he relayed to Bobby ages ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much stuff is being looped in this episode. Maybe he is someone who could have somehow stopped this. He is just like attuned in a certain way that would maybe have him not lose clarity as Dale did when he enters the space. So maybe he enters it, is recognized as a major threat, and is cast off.
Yeah.
You know?
He does have perfect courage. And so they're so scared of him that they just send him into space?
Oh my god, I forgot about the perfect courage thing. So much of what happens in this episode is Dale running away in the Black Lodge.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We've come so far. This is crazy. I'm going to say that yes, he does have perfect courage, but something still stops him. Maybe it's one of these bewitched Dale entities. And maybe he gets cast off through another exit out into space.
I love it. And okay.
One last thing is we know that there's some connection between the space. Like this, you can interpret these signals as being from space. You can interpret them as being from Twin Peaks. So maybe he retains the ability to send signals despite being out there, and he can still message and reach out to the people on Earth.
And okay, and this is I'm just building off you. I'm not pulling from any foreknowledge, but we know that there is a like non-linear element to the lodge by the fact that Dale and Laura had that same dream, but Laura had it before she was killed, and Dale had it a bit later when he had that dream, right?
Right.
What if he gets cast into space and then he sends back the signals to himself from space due to time fuckery?
I'm not sure if I follow, I'm afraid.
So just like the fact that we know that time can be weird in the lodge because of how they both had that same dream at different points in time. What if when he's cast into space, he's also like cast into the past? And so you're saying he can send signals. What if he's the one who sent the signals that Project Blue Book received because he was cast into the past to do so?
I'm not sure if I believe that the Black Lodge can cast you into the past. Like the sense that I have from this episode is that time passes really quickly in there, but that it moves forward.
But
you know?
but there was the dream, right?
There was the dream.
Well, who knows? Anyway, listen. I don't need to step on your path to floating head. Either way, he gets cast into space and then is sending signals.
I do like this idea though, and the idea that all of them have this dream. Like maybe Garland Briggs also has this dream, you know?
Oh, fuck yeah.
And maybe it is like maybe it's some sort of like access point to the point in time where Laura originally had the dream. Like I'm kind of drawn to the idea that he could change the past. You know, maybe he's doomed in all this, but he is at least sent back Superman 2 style in time slightly in a way that allows him to interfere and hopefully shape how things go. However, we already know that things turn out pretty badly, so I'm not sure if it works. There's a lot here.
Yeah. We would definitely be entering a very different kind of show if it became a show about like him like doing time cycles and going back in time to try to change the like, you know, Superman 2. But hey, you never know. Path to Floating Head, ladies and gentlemen, it's locked in. That is the path to Floating Head.
That's the path. We found it.
We did it. Okay, so
Lucky us.
The end of this is, God, this episode's going to be so long.
Oh my God, we're at 2 hours 40 of recording. We haven't done the fucking book.
I know. Okay, so we're moving into the Black Lodge. We get that, like, you know, transition with the "I'm waiting for you."
You're really good at that.
Thank you. Take us to the beginning of this fucked up sequence.
So Dale is in the famous room from the dream. The man from another place is there. And I know the things that happen. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the exact sequence right. There is a dance at some point. He says to him, "When you see me again, it won't be me."
Yeah.
And because of how this is pronounced and then reversed, it's sort of rhyming in a fun way. It's like, "When you see me again, it won't be me," you know?
That's really fun.
Oh yeah, he tells him it's the waiting room, which is interesting because, like, for what?
So I have a thought on that. And if you don't, I don't want to cut you off, but
No,
I think
please.
it might be, because at first I was like, yeah, waiting for what? Or is it like, this is the room where you wait? You're just gonna, you're stuck here and all you can do is wait forever.
Oh.
Was my other thought.
Sort of like a purgatory kind of thing.
Yeah. And there's what Laura says later maybe reinforces that to me, but tell us about that.
Yeah, so Laura is fucking here, bro. Laura's here. This is Laura. It's Laura. She's in the show.
Yeah.
Dude, she takes a seat. She says, "Hello, Agent Cooper. I'll see you again in 25 years.
And she winks.
Oh, and she snaps, doesn't she? She does like a really eerie backwards snap.
Yeah. She's like,
and then,
oh, it just made me think of Coop snaps at the beginning of the episode. Is he like does his like snap and point because he's figured something out.
Oh, huh. I like the idea that this would be like mocking him, maybe.
Yeah.
And then, in a very famous moment that I still don't understand after having seen, she says, "Meanwhile," and then she lifts her hands as if she's like displaying a new car or blender or something. She just holds them up, and then I think that's it for the moment.
Yeah.
I think she just disappears, right?
Yeah. So to me, that's maybe like, meanwhile, it's this. I'll see you in 25 years. Meanwhile, ta-da, this is all there is sitting and being in this horrible room.
Oh, you know? My God. Oh, that's really fucked up.
Yeah. Like, it's the waiting room where you're going to have to be for, I guess, 25 years or whatever, you know?
Okay, anyway, the next thing that happens is that the elderly waiter shows up. I love this guy with an obviously fake cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just like gel in a coffee, like in a diner cup.
Yeah.
And he walks it over to Dale saying, "Coffee, coffee, coffee," but it's like a little differently every time.
Yeah,
coffee, so it's really
coffee. It's so good.
Coffee. Like, it's really cool. And then he sits back down and it's the giant.
Yeah.
And the giant says, "One and the same." No, the man from the other place says one and the same.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is to me a little underwhelming. Like, that they are just the same dude. Because if they're the same dude, what's the point of there being two of them? Because they can both manifest here and they can both manifest in the physical world.
I think the giant can't manifest as, like, he can appear in visions, but it feels like the waiter can actually, like, do things in the physical world, like bring you milk and whatever in a way that the giant can't.
Sure. I kind of liked the previous idea that I had that the waiter was like his emissary, you know?
Yeah.
We're still resolving something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The Coop starts to like drink the coffee, which is great. He lifts it up and he's like, he turns it all the way on its side and it doesn't spill.
Yeah.
And he levels it out again. Then he does it again, and this time it spills. And he has like a very funny little whoa, like a little shock reaction.
I love his little reaction. It like is the most like, oh, I spilled my coffee face.
Yeah. It's like maybe the one little piece of comic relief.
Yeah.
And then he pours it over another time. And our description here from the wiki says that it's burnt oil.
Mm-hmm.
I read it as generically just a very thick, dark liquid.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of evoked blood to me.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones that, like, I think the idea of it being oil is, I mean, fan accepted enough to be in the wiki, but we don't have to take that for sure. I like the idea of it being oil because of how oil is like the substance like that we've seen this episode, but I think it being blood is like also equally convincing and compelling.
I guess I don't mean that it was like literally blood, but just like evocative of blood, you know?
Absolutely.
All the dark liquids, like the dark pool of oil in the woods gave me the same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I love that it's thick. That's such a gross texture for a liquid to be. That just works at a really basic level.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
And then, oh yeah, the man from another place dude starts talking. He says, "Wow, Bob."
May I?
Oh yeah, please.
Wow, Bob. Wow. Fired. Walk with me.
Then there's a big whoosh of fire.
Yeah.
Again, it says here the room erupts into flame. I disagree. I think we were just cutting to a big climactic shot of fire.
I agree. Yeah.
And then
it's like strobe light time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is so cool. This as like a visual signature of the Black Lodge was introduced so late in the game. I can only think of 2 times we've seen the strobe light in the show. One was last episode. The other one was that little flashback to that girl dancing in Ben and Jerry's room.
Yeah. Was there a strobe light in the original Dream? I think there might have strobed a bit in the original Dream.
Well, maybe, maybe.
But
I love that as an electrically controlled and more filmic kind of lightning. Because lightning was the effect that they were going with for the longest time.
Lightning in a bottle.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know what that, but I don't know. And none of this is in the shooting script. And it's so, like, this is the kind of thing, I mean, where there are, in some ways, we're like, oh, we get a definite explanation. The guy says, one and the same. And so we know that they're the same guy. But it's also like, we can extrapolate that. It's not really said in any kind of clear way. And also, like, other things are really complicated. Like, we've got the sense that the man from another place is maybe evil aligned. Like, we saw him dancing when Josie died. And we got the sense that the giant is, like, good aligned and is trying to help him. But then it's like, what are they doing here? Like, you know, like, at first he's coming to bring him coffee. It's like that, trying to help him. But it's also
like
kind
neutral.
of like mocking him, or at least it becomes mocking him when the man from another place, like, makes the coffee freeze, which is, as far as like digging into analytically, like that one 5-hour Twin Peaks YouTube video essay is very big on that being like, the case has gone cold. Your like investigative capacity as fueled by coffee is like gone, which I think is compelling. I think there's like,
sure,
you know, in the same way that when we cut to Pete being asleep at the wheel, I'm like, yeah, you lost the sauce, you let your coffee go cold, and like then it becomes this oil, this vision of violence, like the thing that fuels Dale Cooper has been like taken away from him and / turned into the violence that he was enabling. I think there's a lot there. This is like the kind of imagery that the show has been missing. And like, compare this to the thing, the shooting script, where there's like a lady with a sword. sure, what the fuck? That doesn't do it. Like, we're at a hotel with the guy who's his dad. It's just so basic. There's nothing to get from that. And this, there's things to get from it. And then it also just leaves all these open questions of like, even there's right before the wow, Bob, wow, they like both start like hooting. They're doing like woo, 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 and going like, hallelujah, hallelujah. And it's like, why are these two hooting and hollering and praising? Like if he's an entity of good and not of evil, why is he praising this horrible situation? It's like it just throws it muddies it all up in such a wonderful way that is, you feel lost and you feel like you don't know what it is, and at the same time you can dig into it analytically, but it's also like, what the fuck?
Yeah, honestly, a huge part of the impact of the rest of this episode is just feeling like I'm somehow seeing all this stuff for the first time.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I definitely don't have a clear read on the giant after this, but I wonder if he is like a spirit who belongs to this place, and not the White Lodge as I had maybe previously predicted, but maybe not a malicious one, you know, like maybe he is actually one who has kindness in his heart and means Dale well, but just not in a way that makes a difference, which is kind of how Dale has been. He means well and it doesn't save anyone, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Previously, the waiter was there to comfort Dale and say, I'm so sorry after Maddie was killed. But nothing about his appearance, his apparition, like, helped. I like the coffee gone cold thing. And I also really like that in the context of knowing that David Lynch and Mark Frost wanted the show to just run on forever and have less and less to do with the murder. Like, it feels like TV is the bad guy here, you know? Like, we dilly-dallied so much because this was a 21 episode season.
Yeah.
And we were enjoying it. I was eating it up with a few exceptions. I kind of like the idea that we abandoned Laura and we should feel bad for that. And like, that is causing bad things now.
I agree 100%. Yeah. And you know, I think like the stuff that is, I think, similar to the rate that this kind of ghost upon our show, the 5 or 6 hour Twin Peaks Explained Perfectly YouTube video essay. But like,
can I actually watch it now, by the way?
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to finish season 3. But
I'll see you in 25 years.
I've been going to Glastonbury Grove. I think you can browse Glastonbury Grove because I think all of that was made pre-season 3.
That's great news.
So I think like that video essay is really big on this as being like, it's a meta commentary on how we forgot about, like, we lost the Laura subplot. And I was saying this last episode, I don't think that it has to be that the evil of the show is that we stopped following David Lynch's exact vision and this exact like we kept the mystery going forever, because it, like, Fire Walk with Me and when we get there, and like, it's just not so clean cut. But I do think we can also talk about it just like emotively. The show and the people in the show, like we said, have forgotten all about Sarah Palmer. They have not taken to heart the message of like what led to these horrible murders. And now this means that the evil is back, you know? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take us with your blessing into the next one here.
I will bless it.
So this is a smaller one. We're divvying this up into quote unquote scenes. It is kind of just one huge sequence, and we're divvying it up just kind of like in terms of things that he sees and what happens. So he leaves the room, and I love when he like leaves to go into the hallway. It's the exact same shot. It might be literally the same shot, but it's the exact same as like when he first enters and like steps into the hallway.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love like as he's walking, his footsteps, like, they either are backwards or are just like very precisely like we hear his footsteps sound in such a weird way. He walks into the other room that's a copy of the first room, and the man from another place is there, and he just points and says, "Wrong way." So he turns back and goes back again, which is so good.
Will you believe me if I say that's actually the third instance of the room? In between those two.
Oh, yeah.
He goes into the room 3 times, and only the third time is he told this.
Yeah. Well, and it's so good. Like, I think it's like, you know, like PT or whatever. Like, every time it's like, if the room is the same, that's scary. If it's changed, that's scarier. And it's like the things that stay the same. I wish it would change. change. And then it changes and becomes worse. And you're like, never mind, take me back. It's so good. So he goes back to, I guess, the second room. And he sees the man from another place again. And this one, it's kind of moving with the energy of the doppelganger that we see later. He's like laughing and is like moving a bit more like intensely. And he says, another friend. And then Maddie appears. It's so good showing us Maddie after Laura. And all she says is, watch out for my cousin. And then she's gone.
This is so good.
It's
the
so
cousin.
Good. Yeah.
Obviously, there's the two reads of that.
Yeah, please tell.
Well, one being Maddie's cousin was Laura Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other being that very early on in the show, Laura appears in the Red Room and says to Dale, she's my cousin, but doesn't she look exactly like Laura Palmer?
Yeah, well, and it's kind of like watch out for evil Laura Doppelganger that we're about to meet.
Well, yeah, but to me the question is that Laura or is that Laura's cousin?
Yeah. Yes. It's so good. It's so good.
Which is kind of the same question I have about Leland later. It's like, is that Leland? Is that Leland's evil replacement? I don't know.
I agree. We'll talk about it when we get there, but these are these questions. My other note on this one is I love when the man from another place, he like disappears by like walking behind the chair, and it's like he's doing the like I'm walking down the stairs behind a couch bit, which is really good.
I love that.
Let's check in on the alternate universe of the shooting script.
Please.
In the shooting script, he's in a dark, ominous version of the Great Northern. Everything is in black and white. He sees a version of himself identical in every detail, but with the like white eyes of the doppelgangers that we do see in the show. And then a door swings open to his left and his right. To the left is Wyndham Earl, and to the right is Annie. Oh my God. And then we get another massive speech from Wyndham Earl. You're going about this all wrong, Dale. We profit not at all from resisting what there is to experience here. That much I do know. An entire life of research and contemplation can't begin to prepare one for the actual experience of being here. Think of us as astronauts, and when you do, think of us fondly. I could hardly hazard a guess at the physics, but why spoil the fun? I've always hoped of my endless hours. It goes on and on and on.
God,
you were such a dullard,
please.
Koopy. All I could do sometimes was keep myself from shredding your internal organs out of... It's so much. There's literally another like 5 paragraphs after that. And then just being like... you prove useful. Useful for what? Why do you think, silly boy? For fun. And then cut to, we'll come back, like when we come back later. But like, it's the idea of seeing that instead of what we're seeing now is crazy.
Oh my God.
Yep. Anyway.
When you said that it was going to suck, I thought like, oh, okay, so it's going to be like an average mid-season 2 episode. No.
Yeah. Please take us to the next real scene.
Yeah. Okay. Cooper... Oh, dude, I remember why I claimed this scene. Cooper walks into the other room down the hall, and it's empty. And believe it or not, I'm going to call bingo for real life tears.
Yeah, no, I get it.
When he walks in and it's empty, it's like, this is the space that he's going to fill, you know? It's like he's going to be the feature in this one. I didn't think about this. It just like came over me.
Oh, wow.
You know?
And that made you cry. That's so good.
Yeah, I just felt so scared by the fact of it being empty. The quiet and vacant moments in the show are often the most foreboding. You know, I'm constantly calling back to Maddie on the floor at Donna's house.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have the man from another place appears, and his eyes have this like milky white appearance, like he's like, I'm sure wearing contacts or something, but he does he's got moves. He does, I don't know if he does a full dance, but he does, he moves, he grooves.
It's like especially twitchy, I would say also.
Yeah. And he says doppelganger.
Yeah.
Which I didn't make out, and the only subtitles I have are in Finnish and Swedish, so I'm glad to see this noted because I did not know that. I kind of thought he was just making sounds.
I feel like I could get you better subtitle. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, a similar Laura Palmer or cousin appears, and her eyes also have this sort of milky white surface.
Yeah.
She says again, meanwhile, does that little hand gesture, and then she just enters this snarling, terrifying, like
Yeah.
blood-curdling
Yeah.
shriek.
Yeah.
It's so confrontational. I don't have perfect courage. That's all I can say.
No, it's so good.
She first moves backwards over furniture in a way that really reminds me of when Maddie was being pursued, you know, and maybe this is also what it was like when she died.
Yeah.
Like sort of running away from the threat. And then she comes up way close and screams right up in the face, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of that one vision that I think Maddie had like pretty early.
Are we thinking of the Ronette Pulaski's vision in the season 2 pilot, like of the murder with Laura screaming?
Yeah, where it's like back and forth between
Yeah. That was Ronette.
Bob and Laura. Yeah. And her expression is similar. Also, it's like terrified or attempting to scare is sort of ambiguous. It's interesting that Laura kind of seems like the threat here and not the endangered one, you know? I had previously talked about her relationship to violence, like it was something that she had like an interest in, that she wanted to approach in some way. And the past little while has made me feel kind of guilty about that, because I've come to understand that she was not like a fan of the violence and just sort of wanted to put an end to it. But this has me feel like, I don't know, she's the danger, you know? This could just be an apparition. This could be like a mirage of the Black Lodge. But it could also be that, as we've learned, the Black Lodge and sort of like Bob feeds on fear, right? And Laura, as someone who was surely so scared, it kind of makes sense that she would be here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the supernatural threat that we've been talking about for all these 2 seasons was actually just fear in the end, you know?
Yeah. So I gotta say, I think this is just one of the best shots. This is like one of my favorite shots of everything, basically.
Oh my God, yeah.
The meanwhile, and then like the most blood-curdling, terrifying scream and run at the camera of like anything. It's one of the scariest things I've like ever seen.
I agree.
And like it recasts the meanwhile of like, meanwhile we're waiting to like, and thinking about like, it'll be 25 years. Meanwhile, fucking torment. Like it's, it really gets me. It's so good.
Dude.
And as another aside, when she runs up, we see Wyndham Earl's face flash for a second in like negative, which is really interesting.
Oh yeah, that is really.
To answer your question directly, I feel like it's like, I'm thinking about the Log Ladies thing of like, now there are 2, or were there always 2? We see the Dale doppelganger being like this reflection of the evil in Dale that like maybe, as we've talked about, he was too eager to ignore and like didn't want to acknowledge, and now is emerging because of that. It's like maybe there's something here too where part of what the Black Lodge can do is like tap into the darker parts of you and make them surface and like become their own entity or something. And if so, it makes sense that the Laura, like what that is for Laura, is this like rage and fear personified, you know?
Okay. Yeah, this makes sense to me.
Also, I just want to say, in this, the shot when Dale is like in the hallway in between the beginning of this, it's at a bit of a Dutch angle. As one final fuck you to that one Twin Peaks wiki editor from that one, like he said that there could never be any Dutch angles.
It's not true. It's not true. And it works here.
Yeah.
It really does, because we're depicting the same space so many times.
Yes. Yeah. So, Coop is so scared. Understandable. I was also. He runs out. He goes back to the other room, and then all of a sudden, he's bleeding. And this is like, again, time is fucked up. It's as if like he's bleeding from already having been stabbed, which we will see in the future. He's like, oh my God, I'm bleeding. So he stumbles back and he sees his own dead body. And also a woman. It's Annie. They're both dead. I think at first he's like, is it Carolyn? I think he even says Carolyn, but it's Annie. And then I love, there's like this other little, this is kind of like a little interstitial back and forth. He like runs back from that back to the other room. And we hear footsteps and we see like first person something going into the curtain. And at first I thought it was going to be something following him. I thought we were going to see something enter the room with him looking at the corpses, but it was him. We were seeing his perspective now all of a sudden, from like him looking at the corpses to boom, Dale's first person as he now goes into another room. And like just doing that as like a disconnect of like, we're not sure where he is. And like we don't see him leaving that room when he's looking at the corpses. We just then see the first person of him with footsteps going into another room is like so good at just like alienating us and making it so confusing. And he walks into a room and he sees Annie. She says, "I saw the face of the man who killed me.
I don't know how you do
It
that.
was my husband." He's like, "Oh my God, Annie." And she's like, "No, I'm Carolyn." This is where we get the like double, triple woman fake out, where we see that it's Annie and then it's Carolyn, and then he responds to her as if she's Carolyn, and then she's like, "No, I'm Annie. You must be mistaken. I'm alive." Oh, and then we see Laura for a second again with the doppelganger eyes.
Screaming, yeah.
And I guess that is one of those things that the show doesn't explicitly state. Like we see the guy who says doppelganger with those eyes, and then we see people with those eyes being evil. I am surmising that to mean the doppelganger eyes, and these are somehow doppelgangers, but I don't think we need to take that as objective truth. And I think it's interesting to think about that as like pulling out the darker parts of someone. Let's just not fall into shortcuts too easily. But
sure,
we see her screaming. We see like Dale kind of flinch, and then it's Wyndham Earle. And I understand why you claimed this next bit, because I'll let us like segue into Wyndham Earle actually like giving his dialogue and everything here. I do need to go to the shooting script alternate universe for a moment, where this is after Earl's like, "Why do you think you're useful? For fun." Cooper is lying on the floor of the Red Room. He sees he says, "Where am I?" A crude hand-painted sign falls into view. It says, "Pittsburgh, stupid," as in like where Carolyn died or whatever. And
what?
which is so dumb. He sees Carolyn, they kiss. She's like, "Oh my God, I missed you so much." And then it's Annie. And this is when we get the like, "I saw the face of the man that killed me," except there's like another 10 lines of dialogue of like, "It's my husband. He's the killer. He's the one I saw." Blah, 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 blah.
Boo.
Then Earl appears. And I'll let you take the scene here, basically.
Sure.
And then I'll do another script check after.
Great. Okay. With one quick aside before we move on. When Dale, at the start of this little sequence you've just recapped, walks into one of the rooms and then he's bleeding, right?
Yeah.
First of all, the first thing he notices is that there's blood on his hands, which is like, oh, that's a little on the nose. But then the wound is revealed, and my read actually did not have to do with the stabbing. I thought that this was a reference to when he was shot by Josie.
I like that.
Because he was shot in the same spot there.
Yeah.
I really like that when he stepped into that room, it wasn't just that he started bleeding, it made him retroactively have been bleeding for the past like few minutes, because there was blood like the past place he had walked, you know?
Yeah, it's so good.
When you talked earlier about how there was a shot with a Josie stunt, first of all, I love that it was a stunt double. That's so fitting. That's where I thought that would slot in. That this was like the room of shooting Dale by Josie, you know? Anyway, this next one.
I mean, this is the big Wyndham Earle Annie one.
So we have switched between all these people, and then it settles on Wyndham Earle. He is putting his hand on Dale's shoulder, and we get one last moment with my favorite girl. Annie just like fades in, maybe 10 feet away, just watching them, not saying anything. She seems a little afraid, disconcerted, but so slightly. And she doesn't try to do anything, and she just disappears. This I love because it made me consider for the first time who these two are to Annie and how they might sort of be similar, because she's watching them and they're in this like sort of brotherly position, you know, the hand on the shoulder.
The Philadelphos. Sorry.
It's Pittsburgh. But this made me consider for the first time, like, these are kind of the two men that are responsible for her being here.
Yeah.
Because she is only here because of her romance with Dale. And Dale knows that him falling in love with people can put them directly in danger. This is like a complex he had after Caroline's death.
And more than that, I'm sorry I keep jumping in, but it's not just
please,
the love.
please.
It's that he like pushed her. He encouraged her to go do the pageant.
Yeah.
When he had reason to believe that that would put her in Wyndham's like sights.
He just completely ignores
Yeah.
all these signs all the time. And it's like, what the fuck? Why do you even have these abilities?
Yeah.
In my notes, I have that in that way, you know, because Dale fell in love with her, because they fell in love with each other, that Dale was sort of an unwitting collaborator. But it's a little worse than that, actually. It's like, especially he knew that she might be put in harm's way, and he still chose to make it happen this way.
Believe in the spectacle. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what Annie's thinking about in this moment, but it's definitely what I was thinking about. And she is literally me, so I can only assume. Let's see, what else is in the scene next? Oh shit, Wyndham, this is actually also kind of funny. Wyndham says to Dale, if you give me your soul, I'll let Annie live. Dale agrees unreservedly.
Yeah.
Then Wyndham stabs Dale. And then the stabbing, there's another whoosh of fire. The stabbing rewinds. Bob appears for,
good.
Maybe the first time in this episode physically?
Yeah, it's the first time we see him.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Considering he is the main antagonist. Yeah, Bob appears and basically says, he's wrong. He can't ask for your soul. I will take his. Which is so good. And then everything just like gets reversed. There's a big pillar of flame out of Wyndham's head.
Yeah, it's such a good practical effect.
Which presumably that's the soul, right?
Yeah.
It's the fire.
Yeah.
Which also clarifies the whole fire walk with me thing, like walk with me on the soul plane, you know? Wyndham has been screaming or like sort of snarling this whole time, but we only hear it in a way that is like, it doesn't begin organically. It's discreetly in a moment unmuted, as if Bob is the one who can control the sound in here. That combined with the strobe light really makes me feel like they're leaning into him being like the director of this space. It's like, it's an edit, you know?
Yeah. It's
which
so
I thought
good.
was really cool. And then fucking evil Dale runs in, and I don't know. I have a lot of questions there, but I will say for now that he looks like Brian Johnson.
He kind of does.
He looks like noted longevity scammer Brian Johnson.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. This is so good. I think I love guy thinks he can meddle with evil powers and then they just fucking get him.
Yeah, they're just like nopesies.
Okay, before you go on to these next big bits. First, actually, I think it's interesting that like Dale runs off and then the evil Dale appears once again. Imperfect courage.
Imperfect courage.
And I think the biggest Sadie script check, this in the shooting script is crazy.
Please.
A spotlight comes up on Earl in top hat and tails. Big band music. Earl sings. He sings a song about blah, 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 blah. Then cut to, we see Earl like at the crime scene talking about how I came in the door, there was blood on the kitchen floor. Oh my God, about how Carolyn, whatever. I thought they were both dead. I knew that because I stabbed them myself. Then in that, void corridor before Cooper and Earl standing side by side, he gives him a huge speech about, that's more like it. Sorry to put you through that. I need your cooperation for volunteer for something, a mission for a man of singular quality. I need you to know there's like 8 paragraphs here of like,
No.
some people, I won't name names, they call this place hell. I don't have to tell you what they call the other place. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's all milk-curdling
my
sentimentality.
God.
Here's the deal, Dale. Throne room. Wyndham. Wyndham sits on throne. Wyndham king. Wyndham happy. Problem. Wyndham needs to make deposit first. That's how it works. So he needs Dale's, like, a voluntarily offered good person soul to
What?
get the power or whatever.
What?
And it goes on and on and on. He sings a song about being back in the saddle. Also, the throne is a dentist chair. He sits on the dentist chair as the light illuminates Annie, and he's like, wow, I have power now. And then clamps appear out of the chair and grab him. The dentist uncovers the table, and it's a bunch of horrible instruments. And then Bob is the dentist. Says, the fool broke the rules. It's really no good if you don't volunteer. It doesn't count if you're coerced. He'll have to be punished, and he will be. Again, like, so... It's so much worse. And then Bob, as a horrible dentist, does a fucking dentist procedure to kill Wyndham Earl.
This is fucking Little Shop of Horrors. And I love Little Shop of Horrors, but it's not this.
Yeah, and that's how it ends. It's horrible.
What?
That's how
What?
that's how the Black Lodge sequence ends. There's like more
Wait, the
after
whole
that.
sequence.
Yeah, that's the end.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. It's complete doo-doo. So
Oh my god, it is complete doo-doo.
in real life of the show, Dale runs out and tells us what he sees.
Yeah, okay, what does he see? Oh yeah, Leland is here.
Mhm.
I wrote down young Leland. Maybe it's not young Leland, but this Leland says to him, I did not kill anybody.
Yeah.
Does this guy have the eye thing or no?
He does, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, he does. Big implications. I kind of wonder, is this a Leland that's been stuck in the Black Lodge? Did he get stuck here like when he was younger at some point? I guess we actually know that you can age within the Black Lodge, but not necessarily in like a normal or linear way. So I don't know.
So I was thinking about I was listening for our editor to our episode on arbitrary law recently.
Yeah.
And in it,
This is the episode where Leland dies, for context.
yeah. In it, Dale gives Leland his like freaking Buddhist funeral rites or whatever. He's like, go towards the light. You'll be with Laura there in like the, what was it? It's like the without circumference, or like, he gives him this whole thing. And I said to you, Lily, let's keep an eye on if we see Leland and Laura again anywhere and where they went and if Dale did a good job.
Oh, of guiding him into the light.
Yeah, I think you can read this as like you could read it as a conjuration, like a doppelganger as puppet, like meant to summoned to like, maybe Leland really is in, heaven or whatever somewhere, and this is like something conjured. But to me, we saw Laura, we saw this like doppelganger of Laura that I really do read as like the Lodge pulling out the dark elements of them, and we see that Leland here. And to me, this completely pulls the rug out from Dale so self-confidently being like, and, Leland didn't even know that he killed people, and I guided him towards spiritual peace, and he went to the place of light with Laura. And what's the real truth? We see evil Leland here being like, I didn't kill anybody.
Oh. Okay, so you're saying that this means that the normal mundane Leland had to have been responsible.
As I've said a bunch, I think I'm prone to that reading because I think it's more socially interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think that there's like a lot of room for both interpretations, but to me, it feels to me like this is giving the lie to the idea that Leland was completely oblivious, because that was so driven home in arbitrary law. Like, it was so like Leland being like, I didn't even know, and I am a good person, right, Dale Cooper? And Dale Cooper goes, yes, you are. Go to heaven now with your daughter. And this feels like such an intentional undercutting of that. This is what I mean about, like, I think the show gives us all of these images of like Dale's idea of good, and then shows us bit by bit, and especially in moments like this episode, how those fail and how those don't really work. And I think you can still have a more optimistic reading of it. That's like I think the show really does believe in those things of good, but I think this episode is really invested in undermining them also. Like that's the tension at the core of the
Okay.
show, right? And like it really feels to me like to have evil Leland here say a parodic version of everything that we saw mundane Leland say in Arbitrary Law, and then like him and Laura are together in a place and it's like the Black Lodge super hell, and
Yeah.
it's the like his most twisted incarnation saying that to mock Dale. It feels like such a like you shouldn't have believed that. You wanted to believe so hard. Honestly, think about the line in Arbitrary Law when I think what's his name? Other FBI guy, Albert, was like, you know, it's hard to believe that there's really a spirit or whatever. And Dale was like, is it easier to believe that a man would rape and murder his own daughter?
Mm-hmm.
And that's him saying, I would rather believe that there are spirits than that in America, in the vision of America and Twin Peaks and the family and the small town and like white America that I love, men would rape and murder their own daughters. He doesn't want to believe that. Instead, he believes that there were spirits and the men were innocent and he was able to send them to heaven. And this is like, no, dog,
Dude.
they're in hell. And you were wrong about everything. America is evil, and you are going to spend 25 years in fucking super hell now. And
Super
like,
hell.
or you leave, and now you're the vehicle for that evil. Like, you have become a true fucking cop. I know I'm getting all this just from Leland being here, but it's such a like coming up on the bright-eyed optimism of Leland, and in some ways the show as a whole, from like a lot of season 1, and stepping up behind it with a gun and shooting it in the head. Is what this episode feels like to me. And I fucking love it. It's so good.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, we see Leland. And then there's the other half of this that I didn't let you tell me about because I was too excited.
No, thank you so much, because I didn't really have many thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then there's like a chase thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
first evil Dale Cooper comes and like cackles and laughs, and it's like, aha, we love being evil. And then Dale is like trying to escape. He's trying to, I guess, get out of the Black Lodge into the real world, but also maybe, okay, actually that thought itself is pretty grim, because like Annie's still here.
Yes, he just left her.
Yeah,
Fucking imperfect courage, bro.
bro, your courage, perfect it. Yeah, he's running, and because this is like a strange non-Euclidean space, he can't get out, and evil Dale is chasing him and gradually catching up. And then we get a flash of Bob, right? When evil Dale catches normal Dale.
Yeah. It's this fucked up like shot of Bob, like as the strobe light is going, like just shoving his face in the camera, basically. It's so twisted.
Dude, it's messed up.
Ugh, it's so scary.
And that is essentially the end of the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
Any lingering thoughts?
I mean, I think it's everything I was just saying. I think it's like
Yeah.
Dale Cooper wanted to believe that we don't live in a version of America where men do that to their daughters. He wanted to believe that he could participate in the spectacle of the show Twin Peaks, and that he could push Annie to, and that it would be a beautiful spectacle. It would be just like on TV, and they would be happy, and he would be able to keep like digging at secrets, but he would never find the horrible truth underneath it, and that he could participate in this vision of America, of TV, of storytelling. And he was wrong about all of it. And he thought he could go into the Black Lodge and have perfect courage, and he couldn't because he was afraid to look at evil. He had to run away. The whole show, he has been a guy whose job was to investigate and get to the root of this evil, and he has never been able to actually look at it. He has always just been, all he wants to do is believe in the good. And then he walked into the like den of evil, and it fucking consumed him.
Oh my god.
And spat him out as like a version of himself that is going to perpetuate that evil with a like
Bro.
with a lot more authority than fucking Leland Palmer had.
Oh, fuck my life.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh,
Like-
there it is. There it is.
This is we're getting a bit into the next scene also, but like the thing of like this sets up for another 5 seasons. It's like could be those 5 seasons of like how do we get Dill out? But it's also like Bob was able to ruin so many lives when he was inside Leland Palmer, a lawyer. If he is inside a version of like Dale Cooper, FBI agent, completely unquestioned authority,
Oh my God.
Like,
oh, that's monstrous.
we know that season 3 of Twin Peaks is 25 years later. There's a world where if we see what happens next in Twin Peaks in like a month from now, it's like Dale Cooper's doing the most vile shit ever because he can get away with it as Bob, as Dale Cooper. Like, it's really, really, really bad.
I'm having a bad time. Straight up.
Yeah. So what does happen now, we see it's nightfall, which means like a full day has passed, like a full 24 hours. And Coop and Annie are lying on the ground. Harry, who's been standing guard, sees them. He's the waiting cowboy.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'll just kind of like run these two scenes together because this one's really just a very short one. I love, as you point out, Coop is just kind of passed out and Annie has blood on her face, right?
Mhm.
It seems that whatever deal Wyndham Earl said about, like, you know, I'll let her live, he was wrong. He was not able to enforce that deal, which meant presumably Bob killed her. Grim. And
Wait, I'm sorry. Would you mind repeating that? I feel like they didn't click for me.
yeah, actually, I guess we don't know if she's dead. But like Wyndham Earl's deal that he was like, I'll let her live if you give me your soul. And Bob was like, he's wrong. He can't ask for your soul. Also means that protection was not actually, had no authority to be extended to Annie. We don't know at the end of this. We know she's at the hospital. We don't know if she is alive, if she's gonna die, if she's catatonic or what.
They
but
tell us she's just fine.
okay. I guess okay. No, oh yeah, that's true. They do say that. But like clearly she's experienced, like something has happened that has bloodied her face, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's really interesting that Dale's face is perfectly intact and she is injured, non-specifically.
Yeah, I agree. We then we see the follow-up of this, which is we're at Dale's room, back from the whole show, how he's had that room at the Great Northern, and he wakes up. And immediately he says, I wasn't sleeping.
So weird.
In a way that's like clearly off. And then like as if he remembers that he has to act, he's like, how's Annie? Is she okay? In like a normal Dale Cooper voice. And then they're like, yeah, she's at the hospital. You know, she's fine. And then as if he's like content with having delivered that line, he's like, I need to brush my teeth. Gets up. They're like, yeah, of course. Walks up to the bathroom, turns around again. I need to brush my teeth. Goes into the bathroom. He takes the toothpaste. And this is one of those moments that I think is really good and dark. It also does have a bit of a comedy seeing it a second time.
For sure.
And he's like, this guy's kind of twisted. He's just pouring that toothpaste right down into the sink. But then, like, I think what it really does work and is still kind of campy in that way is he smiles and then just fucking slams his head into the mirror. And
Dude.
in the moment he does it, there's like a scream sound. Like, it's not just the slam. There's like a, ah!
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
And we look and we see he's got this big fucked up smile. He's like, and that what's in the mirror? It's Bob. It's just like, there it is. He goes, how's Annie? How's Annie?
Oh,
you know,
this
like
is
so
insane.
his
This
like
is so...
he's like, I said how's Annie, and they really believed I was normal Dale, these fucking idiots. How's Annie?
Oh, that's the okay.
That's how I read it. Or like reread it as, you know, if it's closer to how we read, like there's a good Leland in there that like, you know, Dale, real Dale in this body is like, how's Annie? And then like the Bob / evil Dale possessing him is like, you fucking idiot, how's Annie? It's ambiguous, but either way, evil is back. It's in the body of Dale Cooper. The end.
Unreal way to end this fucking, I mean, basically the show.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude? Okay, this performance at the end, it's like he's drunk, sort of. It's like,
yeah,
he's just like totally reveling in his like, this is a guy who knows he's going to be able to get away with anything.
Yeah.
It's like a borderline Jim Carrey performance, to be honest.
Yeah, it is giving the Jim Carrey of like Leland as Bob in Arbitrary Law, for sure.
And it really does remind me of how Bob speaks in the episode where Josie dies too. Like, what happened to Josie? You know?
Yeah.
That's just his style is way fierier and more animated. This feels bad. This feels really bad. I don't know, man. I'm having a bad time. I'm not. We are gonna take a several month break from recording to edit the rest of the show. And I hate
I know.
my younger
I
self for making
know.
that choice. What the fuck?
It's fucked. No, but I knew this was coming and I was like, yeah, they had to wait 25 years. We're gonna have to sit with it for a bit.
Oh, I don't like it at all.
It's fucked up. And by the way, my final script check, in the shooting script, he doesn't smash his head. He just looks at he's like smiling, looking at the reflection, brushing his teeth, and then we look and we see it's Bob, and then smash cut to black, which is basically the same thing, but let's be honest, smashing his head and where's Annie is way better.
Oh my God. No, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And I hate it. And it's so unsatisfying. Like, this is what I was saying when I said it sets up several more seasons of plot.
And here's the thing also, I think how unsatisfying it is and how much it is so bitter and so disbelieving in what Dale Cooper and the show kind of believed in season 1. I think that is why we needed to go through the Valley of Mid. Like, I think that you can't understand, like, this. I remember saying this to you, that like when we get back to true peak, it will hit so much harder because we spent so long in the Valley of Mid. and that's true. Like, getting the like minute and a half of Audrey being brought a glass of water hits because it's like, oh my God, it's back. I missed this. And I think that like spending all this time in this version of Twin Peaks that we were defenders of in a lot of ways, but like,
yeah, I enjoyed almost every episode.
Yeah, shout out. I think some of the last ones I liked less than you, to be honest. But I think like spending all this time in this version of Twin Peaks that's so different from this makes the sense of like, it is kind of the way people talk about like End of Evangelion. Like, there is a little bit of David Lynch kind of like kicking over the sandcastle because it's like, you guys fucked it up. I don't like this. And I'm going to show you how horrible it all is. And it's all tragic. And I could see people not liking that. I know. And I've never actually seen Evangelion. We talked about this also at your bachelorette party, but like,
that's true.
I think that like you need to go through that to understand the intensity of the emotion and of the like what is so dark about this ending. I think if you go straight from like Arbitrary Law or whatever to this, it doesn't hit nearly the same because you haven't had the sense of Dale being so lost for so long, and just like as a viewer of what it was like to go through this whole other stretch of the show and then for it to come back to this and be like, you've been forgetting about the fucking evil, you know? Yeah.
Man,
what a show! What an episode!
What a show! Yeah, dude. I also think about, you know, if Dale is possessed or trapped or whatever we want to call it, the fact of that being the mic drop and just having to live with that for several years is like, that is, I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, that's so phenomenal as a fuck you to your audience.
Yes, it's amazing. It's so good. And again, I think like you only get there by going through the path in which David Lynch felt pissed off at the audience and at the network for having to reveal the killer that he didn't want to do. It's what makes Twin Peaks so unique, I think. Is like it's a show that is so transformed. I mean, all art is, but like so transformed by the conditions of its creation. It makes it really, really, really interesting.
I'm gonna make one shout out to what this ending reminds me of.
Yeah.
Which is the movie Shoplifters. Have you seen it?
No, I've never even heard of it.
It is a movie by Hirokazu Koreeda, director of Airdoll, Afterlife, Monster, many of my favorite movies.
I really need to see some of those.
Yeah, dude. It won the Palme d'Or in like, I want to say 2018. It's about an impoverished family in Japan that mostly gets by like stealing from stores and stuff. And it starts off as a bit of a thing of like, oh, you know, they're in such a tough circumstance, but they really love each other and they're really happy. And then over the next 2 hours, it just strips away more and more of that to reveal like the underlying misery and desperation.
Oh, wow.
But to the extent that by the end, you're just like, how are these people still living? It's just a bleakness and a misery I cannot even I don't like it. You know, I respect the movie a lot. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again because it builds this really lovely romantic fantasy for you and then
God.
just like doesn't just methodically disassemble it. It disassembles it more than it ever built it up.
Yeah. God.
That's what this feels like.
It does. It really feels like that. Yeah, I gotta watch that movie.
Dude, you gotta. Wow. Okay.
I have two other final notes on this.
Yeah, please.
In classic Sadie fashion, one is serious, one is goofy. I think there's something about him like being like, I need to brush my teeth, because like as the spirit that consumes pain and suffering, he just ate a full meal.
Damn.
You know?
Whoa, yes. Is that the silly one or the serious one?
That's the serious one.
Okay, yeah. That's fucked up.
The silly one is him dumping the toothpaste into the sink to show us that he's twisted now. Does make me think of, this is from like a decade ago, one of my favorite The Onion videos. It's like, absolutely beautiful. Watch this woman tell her husband she's pregnant while Conan O'Brien pours good milk down the sink. And it's just like a minute-long video of like, honey, I'm pregnant. And he's like, oh my God. And then in the background in their kitchen, Conan O'Brien walks in and is like, this milk is perfectly fine. 2 weeks away from the expiration date, and just pours it all down the sink. I'm like, I can't believe it. We're going to be pregnant. Oh my God, this is everything I've ever wanted. Smells great. Tastes fine. Down the sink it goes. That's the same twisted energy as Darkdale here with the toothpaste.
Can you send me this? That's so good.
I will.
That's so good.
Well,
man,
that's 3 hours and 40 minutes. It's a good thing I got us recording early today. I knew we would do this.
No kidding.
Okay.
We got a couple more things to do here.
That we do. So, dreams. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
I'll go first because mine is quick.
Okay.
As I was falling asleep last night, I remember having the thought, oh man, I wish I could have a cool dream right now. And then it was barely even a dream, almost more of a vision of absolutely nothing but an enormous black and yellow wasp just buzzing at me. And it was like it was stuck on between me and a pane of glass. And it was like trying to get at me.
Damn.
And I woke up because I was like, holy shit. It just had such a weird emotional impact. And I wrote down, it's on the glass and must know it's on the glass, but it doesn't feel like it's on the glass. It's staying and knocking itself into it over and over. And then I wrote down that I should include a scene in my next video where I'm just interrupted by pretending to be distracted by an enormous wasp.
I kind of love that.
And just talking about how like a problem can be true and you can know that and it still doesn't feel true, which is kind of like the surveillance thing that I'm writing about. Yeah, I don't know. If you're hearing this and I did that, then this is nothing for you. But if not, that's a deleted scene from my surveillance video, the wasp.
That's really funny. I love that.
Please tell me about yours.
Okay, I had a dream from last time that I pushed to this episode, which I maybe should have thought through okay. I had a dream. It was like I found another kid who had the exact same like uncommon Swiss last name that I have, and like my Swiss grandpa. And I was like, wait. And then I found out that his grandpa had the exact same name as my grandpa, and I was like, wait, was my grandpa having an affair and had another family that I didn't know about? And I was like trying to talk to him and be like, describe your grandpa. What did he do, to try to figure out if it was the same guy?
Interesting.
And then their oven burned something and it shot fucking lava sparks out at me and burned my leg really bad.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Yeah. As like the kid's mom was like, I didn't want to talk to you about this. I was scared that grandpa secretly had two families.
Oh my God.
And then I had another dream. I said this in our show notes channel. I just said, because I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, I do need to write this down. I just wrote Twin Peaks Dream Kazoo episode, Kazoo dub S2E1. And I just had a dream that they released a like version of the Twin Peaks season 2 pilot where every sound and line of dialogue was a kazoo. So instead of someone talking, we would just go with subtitles. and everything was
Holy
kazoos.
shit.
So that's my Twin Peaks
Oh my
related dream is
God.
the Twin Peaks season 2 episode 1 kazoo dub.
Oh my God. I love it. Maybe that's a goal for the Patreon. If we somehow hit $1,000 a month before the show ends.
Wow, we'll release the kazoo dub.
Yep.
The kazoo cut. God, that's so funny. Okay. Bingo. We have some bingos.
Yes, we do. Okay. So, wonderful news.
Yeah.
Real life tears happened to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Which means we cross off yet another thing.
And I'm going to be honest. I think we can also stamp a televised dream. And what show are we in?
A televised dream. Can you make that case for me?
Just that was a whole dreamlike nightmare sequence.
That's true, but it felt to me like it was really happening.
That's true. It is not a dream. Fine. Only one bingo to close it off. Which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and not 5 bingos.
I actually think last time, did we check off Indigenous mysticism weirdness last time? So that's actually 1, 2,
Oh, it is 5
3,
bingos.
4.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at that. We do have 5 bingos.
We're such good predictors. Wonderful work.
All right. And our final thing was next time on Twin Peaks. I don't think I'm going to make you guess what happens in season 3, 25 years.
Yeah.
Unless you have any crazy, like, what is the first thing that we see 25 years later if you want to, but I won't make you. But
okay.
last time you predicted maybe someone rescues Leo. That only happened in the shooting script alternate universe. So you get shooting script alternate universe points for that one. We said A plot. The cops do something that make Wyndham and Annie so scared that Wyndham is a fear victim instead of a master of the Black Lodge. He loses control and somehow dies. Dale goes into the Black Lodge and sees Laura there. Dale gets out, Annie doesn't. It's very bleak. This is, I think, the most complete, close to complete points that I could have given you in the whole show. This is like...
Really?
I mean, the cops don't make Wyndham scared, but he does think he can be a master of the Black Lodge and instead loses control and dies.
That's true. That's pretty cool.
I think Dale gets out and Annie gets out bloodied and in the hospital in a way that is unclear what her fate is. And it certainly is very bleak.
I would say the only thing that I'm like decisively wrong on is Dale gets out, Annie doesn't. Because I feel like
Yeah.
if Annie is also possessed or affected in some way, then Dale also certainly is.
You know, fair enough. Fair enough.
But in general,
Pretty good.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know?
B plot. Mike gets a huge insurance payout for his crushed hand. No dice, unfortunately. But because he's so in love with, quote, how Nadine bounces on it, he gives it all to her to open a Drape Runner store, and she does. She's back on Drape Runners because she got her memory back from getting bonked. He gives it to her as a bittersweet farewell. Partial marks.
What?
Some of those were true. Okay, she's back on Drape Runners, and she did get her memory back. And he is still in
that's
love with her.
true.
Except it's just more sad.
Hey, that's cool. Okay, I can only assume that the the Drape Runners store thing on the Twin Peaks wiki that I saw by accident was in fact a prank that no one caught before me. And I'm happy that it got me on the airwaves.
Exactly. And your little bonus was that the ingot key opens a safety deposit box full of porn magazines. It's all one big prank. Or a little diorama of the hotel room with Josie pointing the gun because Eckerd knew how he was going to die and it never resolves. I'm going to be honest. This one is spiritually pretty correct. I think it being a bomb that explodes is coming from the same place as both of those suggestions.
It is one big prank.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was one step ahead all along.
And it never resolves. It just explodes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What a show, man.
What a show. What an episode. That episode of TV is so good. It's crazy that they put that on television.
For probably like 10 million people or something.
Yeah, like that aired on network television. Like that whole
Unreal.
end sequence is crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
How did they do that?
I want to say it was a different time.
Yeah.
But I think it was even exceptional in its time.
Yeah.
Next time we are talking about, what's it called? Give me 1 second. Okay. Next time we are talking about David Lynch and Mark Frost's other TV show, on the air. The series follows the staff of a fictional 1950s television network, Zoblotnik Broadcasting Company, as they produce a live variety show called The Lester Guy Show, often with disastrous results. They had 7 episodes, only 3 were ever aired. The music was also by Angela Badalamenti.
Oh yeah, Angela Badalamenti did everything.
And it stars Miguel Ferrer, aka Albert Rosenfeld.
That's crazy. Yeah, so some people might think that we would then go on to watch Fire Walk with Me, and then maybe The Missing Pieces, and then season 3. No, we're doing the rest of the Lynch and Frost work entirely chronologically. We're also going to watch 1993's Hotel Room. Premise: the series opens with the following narration, written and spoken by co-creator David Lynch. Hold on. For a millennium, the space for the hotel room existed, undefined. Mankind captured it and gave it shape and passed through. And sometimes when passing through, they found themselves brushing up against the secret names of truth. That's right. We're watching 7-episode on the air and 3-episode David Lynch's Hotel Room, now available on video cassette, as the poster advertises.
Fantastic. That actually sounds good, that one. Like, I kind of do want to watch this one. It stars Harry Dean Stanton in the first episode.
Fuck yeah. Also, we're lying. We're watching Fire Walk with Me. But
yeah, of course.
We like to have fun.
We like to have fun on this little radio program.
One thing I will say, and maybe I'll put something at the beginning about this also, we are going to watch Fire Walk with Me. And then we haven't 100% decided this, but I think we are also going to watch Fire Walk with Me, The Missing Pieces, which was the like feature length release of like deleted scenes. And then season 3. I have never seen The Missing Pieces. It's the only Twin Peaks thing that I skipped, and I've been kind of saving it. And I think I'm going to watch it.
That's amazing.
And then see if it makes sense to release in the main feed, or there's a world where we just do like Fire Walk with Me in the main feed and then The Missing Pieces on the premium feed as like a bonus to that.
At tstv.show.
Yeah. I'm not entirely decided. I kind of need to see it to have a sense of where it should go because I never saw it. But
I think let's Bing in when we know. Like when we're editing, we'll know, I assume.
Yeah. I'll message you on Bing.
Bing, that's what I meant.
Yeah, this show is sponsored by Bing, by the way. Google, that's in the past. I feel like we've been recording for 3 hours and 50 minutes, and we've hit like a certain delirium. You know?
Yeah, I feel like the room is running out of oxygen. Bing. Outing myself as a listener of the gaming podcast Triple Click. That's how they do it on there. Anyway, just to clarify the schedule here, our episode on Fire Walk with Me drops April 6th on the premium feed. Our episode on The Missing Pieces will drop 1 week after that, and that one will not be coming to the public feed. And then 2 weeks after that, on April 27th, we will begin Season 3, The Return. As always, our patrons get the mainline episodes 2 weeks early, and they get the bonus episodes that no one else can even get a little whisper of. How wonderful. Back to it.
Okay, no, but let me say for real, thank you. But to you, Lily, it's been so delightful doing this. And I know we have a lot of it left, but like this is a real milestone hitting what was for 25 years the end of Twin Peaks, or I guess Fire Walk with Me. But like, and thank you to everyone who's listening. This will come out for you in however many months, I think March or something. And I don't know, just this has been a wonderful journey. It has been so great being able to watch Twin Peaks and yap about it with you every week, Lily. And now that we're like back into true peak and I'm thinking about what's ahead of us, I'm so excited. And it's just thank you to you, Lily, for doing this with me, and to everyone listening. Thank you for listening. And let's be honest again, if you've listened all the way here to the end of season 2 and you are not on tstv.show, we've got such a backlog of us talking about amazing movies for you.
There's so much. There's so much there.
If you've made it all the way here, I said this at one point in the past, if you've made it to episode 29 right now and you haven't given us $3, give us $3. You got all that
Only
for free.
$3.
It's time to pay up. And on that note,
I have my little spiel too. This has been such a privilege, you know, like it's just been such a great little slice of my life. It has not always been an escape because Lord knows we can get real on here, but I'm just so proud of us and so appreciative that like despite all of the occasional craziness in our lives and whatever, like I don't know, it's been a big year. Some big difficult things have happened. I just really appreciate that we've seen it through. This is the first podcast that I would say I have completed, and I know that we're not actually done. We have 18 more episodes to go, but yeah, I feel like we really deserve, you in particular, deserve the world's biggest high five and just a snap into a thumbs up and a hot cup of coffee and
fuck yeah.
Go team.
Yeah.
And yeah, for real, like everyone who has helped us make the show. The show would have been an unsustainable amount of work if we did not have the financial support of the people at tstv.show. A true thank you.
Paying for an editor is the best thing in the world.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I think it has single-handedly made this not a chore.
Yeah. And we've had some smart shit to say about Twin Peaks.
I think so.
Doing this, partially, I was like, I just want to talk about Twin Peaks every week. That's just something that's true about me as a person. And I want to hang out with Lily. But I think like this take that we just gave about like that you and I have been formulating together over these past couple episodes about like what leads to Dale's downfall here is a read that I think I at least have not encountered in that way on the internet, in the way people talk about Twin Peaks. I think that we are genuinely
that's thrilling
putting out a read on this show that is unique and can be out there now for people to refer to. And I think that's really fucking cool.
Wow. Okay, so I've had such blinders on that every time I open my mouth, I'm like, oh, maybe this is the most obvious thing in the world. Maybe everyone knows this. Because it's really difficult to engage with anything Twin Peaks without seeing season 3 spoilers.
Yeah.
But I'm thrilled to hear that. And I can't wait for several more months of it.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Well,
I'll see you this weekend at the future Tiberian baths. We got an appointment. We're going to get a couple massages.
Hell yeah.
From the robots.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to shoot us. Oh, also, Lily, I love that your new Discord profile picture is Annie. That's how I know that the show has really got you, because we got a new, she's literally me for real in there. She's
me, man. I really hope we get more of her in season 3. I don't know if we do, but that alone was honestly worth the hundreds of hours of admission.
Fuck yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Shall we give them our final bye just before the 4-hour mark?
Oh my goodness. Okay, ready? Let's do it together.
Yeah.
I'm spiritually through the computer.
Yes.
Holding your hand.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye. TSTV is hosted by Sadie Avery Lake and yours truly, Lily Alexander. Our music is by Jamie Page, the show art is by Maya Fernandez-Giles, and this episode was edited by me. If you have any burning questions or comments, we would love to hear from you. Please send us an email at hello@tstv.show, and we may respond in a future episode. Thanks for listening.